original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. On the final day of their two-day summit, President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping aim to stabilize their trading relationship after last year's trade war.
China and the United States both stand to gain from cooperation.
With trade top of mind for President Trump, the White House says China agreed to buy more U.S. agricultural products. The U.S. readout of their meeting had no mention of Taiwan. But for China, it's the top issue, and Beijing warned that there could be clashes and even conflicts if not handled properly.
That's CBS's Natalie Brand reporting. The head of U.S. Border Patrol has resigned. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Border Patrol Chief Mike Banks has become the latest top Trump administration official to leave. In a farewell message to employees, he stated it is time to return home to Texas and focus on his family and his ranch. Banks also said, quote, "What we have accomplished together in the last year and a half is nothing short of amazing." He added that the employees have, quote, "delivered the most secure border this country has ever seen." Banks replaced Greg Bovino, who served in the position for just 7 months. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
An Oklahoma man who was nearly executed 3 times could soon be walking out of jail. CBS's Heather Bosch reports.
A judge has set bond at $500,000 for Richard Glossop as he waits to be retried in the 1997 murder-for-hire killing of his former boss. Glossop, whose case was featured in a 2017 documentary,
I didn't have anything to do with it,
has maintained his innocence. Last year, the U.S. Supreme Court threw out his conviction because prosecutors allowed a key witness to give false testimony. If he makes bail, Glossop would have requirements, including wearing an electronic monitoring device. Heather Bosch, CBS News.
Vice President J.D. Vance in Bangor, Maine, says vital federal government programs are being victimized by fraud, in part because some state governments, including Maine, don't cooperate with Washington, D.C. to stop it.
The threat to the Medicaid program is not us keeping fraudsters away from the Medicaid program. It's the fraudsters raiding that program to begin with. That's the threat to the Medicaid program.
Shoppers pulled back on spending in April as higher gas prices fueled by the Iran war meant less money left over for some non-essentials. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
What we are seeing is just the beginning parts of consumers pulling back in some areas to be able to afford higher energy prices. What are those areas? Furniture stores, department stores.
Retail sales rose 0.5% in April, a slowdown from the revised 1.6% in March. Stocks are up on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth.
Half a world away.
Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
A suspect in the stabbing death of a UW student is behind bars. More on that straight ahead. First, a quick check on your traffic. North 5 through Seattle, no surprises. We're packed from the West Seattle Bridge to I-90. Catch a nice breather, and then it's bumper to bumper just past Mercer across the Ship Canal Bridge. 20 minutes through downtown. South 5, you're crowded coming out of Northgate through the U District. 20-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle. And if you're heading toward Montlake right now, eastbound 520 is jam-packed from I-5 to the Montlake Boulevard exit. The boulevard itself is packed from the U Village to the bridge, and all other surrounding streets are packed as well due to a recent bridge closure. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The suspect in the stabbing death of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is behind bars this morning, according to police. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey reports he turned himself in Wednesday night.
Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz says around 10:30 at night, the suspect turned himself in to Bellevue Police, who then transferred him to SPD.
Bellevue Police Department transferred physical custody to the Seattle Police Department, and Mr. was then booked into King County Jail for investigation of murder.
The suspect, whose name we're holding until he's charged, will be arraigned in the coming days. The 19-year-old victim was stabbed to death inside a laundry room at the Nordheim Court Apartments just north of U Village earlier this week. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
More on that story with Luke as he joins Jake and Spike here in a minute. Another dead gray whale has washed ashore on the Washington coast. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun reports.
NOAA is aware of the situation. The Island County Sheriff's Office is awaiting their call on what to do with that whale. This is the 19th gray whale that's washed up this year, far surpassing past records. Researchers tell us many of the dead whales have been malnourished.
State leaders warn Washington's August primary could get thrown into chaos. The Washington State Standard reports a federal judge is weighing whether to toss out legislative district maps he approved just just 2 years ago, Judge Robert Lasnik redrew those lines to boost Latino voting power in the Yakima Valley, shifting more than 300,000 people across 13 districts. But a recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling sharply limited the use of race in drawing political boundaries. Now, opponents want Lasnik to scrap his map and bring back the original. Secretary of State Steve Hobbs calls that a recipe for chaos, warning it could force the August 4th primary to be delayed. The Seattle Sounders are on a winning streak. They pulled off a wild 3-2 win over the San Jose Earthquakes last night.
Good looping ball, Di Rosario!
That sound courtesy of Major League Soccer. The victory extends the Sounders' unbeaten streak to 9 straight matches. Seattle also remains unbeatable at home, 22 consecutive matches without a loss across all competitions, the longest streak in club history. And now check out your KIRO News Radio weather. Mostly cloudy and 60 this afternoon. Isolated showers. Friday looks to be about the same with a high dipping into the mid-50s. Sun comes back for the weekend, though, with highs in the mid-60s. 56 and mostly cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Thursday to everybody out there. I'm Jake Skorheim, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill. Spike, welcome.
Welcome, my friend.
We got a lot of stuff.
We have lots.
You know, the problem with days like today, and almost every day, is we have...
You have to come to work?
No. I love being
do.
at work
It's
here.
a trick question.
I love it. I would never not say that.
I know. You've met my wife. You know I love to be here.
I got a house full of kids. My wife's like, why are you leaving so early in the morning?
We keep asking us, can we work weekends?
Traffic.
Can we work weekends, boss?
No. I don't know about that. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to get to. A lot of great topics. There's local businesses that are now dealing with trying to figure out, can their employees unionize? That's actually a really interesting conversation we should get into in just a few minutes here, which we will. Let's start here locally. We got Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio reporter, continuing a story from yesterday. About the stabbing that happened at UW. There was a killing that happened at UW. Somebody was murdered in a laundry room, and police were looking for the suspect.
Yeah, that's right.
And what's the update here?
Yeah, you remember that 19-year-old female student, UW student, who was living in an off-campus UW apartment complex in a laundry room. This happened at night earlier this week. She was stabbed to death, police say, in that laundry room. They found the suspect. Well, or maybe another way of saying that is the suspect found police.
He turned himself in.
He turned himself in to Bellevue Police last night at 10:27 at night. And we've got sound from Drew Anderson, a spokesperson for Bellevue PD, about exactly how that went down. He says the suspect is a Bellevue resident.
He is a Bellevue resident. He arrived at the Bellevue Police Department. We arrested him, and we then transferred him into custody of the Seattle Police Department.
Now, apparently they got a call from somebody saying, an interested party, let's put in quotation marks, that's how it was described, that, hey, this person wants to turn themselves in, and they did. And so then they were transferred.
And we don't know who that interested party was. That could have been the suspect himself. That could have been a family member.
Exactly. Friend, something like that. Yeah.
Somebody he can maybe confess to, or...
Doesn't sound like it was an attorney, because an attorney would have accompanied someone most likely to the police station.
You know what's so wild to think about? So I saw a picture released of this guy. It's all over the web, all over... I mean, I saw it a number of places. At the time, right after it happened, they had given this very vague description of what somebody looked like. They said it's a male who's between 5'6" and 5'7", with facial hair and a blue vest. And that's really all the information that they seem to give.
And dirty shoes.
And dirty shoes.
Yeah, it was like a dirty jacket and dirty shoes.
So the interesting part to me was how is it possible that they knew so much description-wise? I mean, like 5'7" is a very specific height. Color of shirt is a very specific thing. If there were no witnesses to the crime, and why wasn't the description better? And how, if there were witnesses, you would have had a better description. If there was no witnesses, how did they know anything about this guy? And then my other question at the time was, why don't they have cameras operating everywhere on the UW campus, going in and out of the facility, that would capture his image that we could then immediately share with the public? And it looks as though the picture, correct me if I'm wrong, but the picture that we see here, he's wearing the outfit described in the original description, correct?
Is this? Do we know where these photos came
from?
In the
background, it looks like laundry.
Doesn't
equipment.
it look like the laundry room? It does to me. And how they would have gotten a height in that case is you look at the video and then you see what he was standing next to. So you're right there with the tape and you measure. Yeah.
So my next question is, why did they wait to release the photo? Were they waiting for him to turn himself in? If they had the photo immediately, did it take them a day to get the photo? I mean, when a local business is broken into, it takes 5 seconds to rewind your cameras. Why did it take a couple days for them, or a day and a half or whatever it was, to release this photo, which then prompts himself to turn himself in? Like, that's a time, again, it'll have to be proven in court that he is actually the guilty party. Somebody has turned themselves in, the suspect. So could that person have been a danger to society? Were they not sharing information that they had? I mean, these are all things that I would like to know more about. I'm glad that somebody turned themselves in who matches the picture that we have. That's good.
Right.
And I'm hoping that that's the guy and that he's not a danger to anybody else. If they had not found this picture, would he have turned himself in? That's another question.
These are great questions, and these are things that we're talking about in the newsroom as well. And I'll speak from experience of covering a lot of cases like this, and on the federal level as well. Often the FBI does this kind of thing, what you're talking about. You know, a lot of times when we go into, say, like a pot shop, is a marijuana store is rammed into, and they run in and they steal all the stuff, and then we have video of it, and it's because the owner of that store has allowed us to take video of their video.
Sure.
Often that's what happens. In this case, I'm speculating, I don't know, but often the FBI does this too. They will hold back releasing those photos because they don't want to scare someone off. Like if they've got a bead on them and they don't want to, put the pressure on them, so they will bolt and run. But maybe in this case, they put that out there, and I wonder, and we were wondering in the newsroom, did that lead to this suspect perhaps seeing that photo? Oh, my photo's out there.
Yeah, once he knows he's been exposed.
Because what do you do at that point? You either run.
One of those two
you're
things.
Out of here, or
you either run, or you feel like the
in.
nets are closing around you and that you've got to turn yourself in.
And he's been arrested. He has charges. That means charges have been filed.
Not yet. Charges are pending, and that's why we're not naming him. We have his name.
He turned himself in connection with the homicide. I'm assuming.
Correct. He's been arrested on suspicion of murder.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
And also this morning, here's another bit of information that's kind of really interesting in a twist. So I came in this morning with a different kind of information that I learned myself and I had gathered. We uncovered details about another incident perhaps from last week that also had photos. I'm going to try to get us to put those photos up on the YouTube feed right now so people watching can see. So the photo that's up right now, that's the original that was released by Seattle Police.
And doesn't that look in the background?
Absolutely looks like laundry.
Looks like laundry room.
Yeah,
right,
and so that is the description that was put out, which led to then the next day this person allegedly turning himself in, and he is now the murder suspect according to police. Now these other photos, I want you to look at these because these are from last week. I got these from a student. And they were taken from inside a dorm in the lower level. Student says this man in this photo gained access to the dorm somehow, was walking around inside, was following a female student inside. People noticed that he didn't belong there, and I've got a couple more of from inside the dorm as well. There's another one that's close up, looks exactly like the supposed laundromat shot that we saw just moments ago. Looks like the same person. An RA had to confront this person and told him to leave. He left.
It does.
But
it does look like, well, it's not verified, but it does look like the same
guy. Not verified, but what happened was when they told him to leave, he did, and then the messages started going out to friends and everyone else with warnings. Here's one of them from a student to other friends saying, hey, and this is a quote, please be careful. He was following one of my friends around a week before the girl died.
This is a week ago.
Referencing the 19-year-old who was killed. Now, Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz, I asked him about this in other instances. Were there other sightings of this person around campus? He tells me they have been working with UW police who are aware of previous incidents. Here's what he said to me this morning.
If that is, in fact, the same person that was seen on campus, you could never predict that he would commit such an egregious crime.
So they were aware of other incidents on campus.
The thing is, the most important part of UW's job, I mean, the education part you want them to be good at, but that can't happen unless the students feel safe. And if you have a report that somebody is following students around, that to me seems like very scary, predatory behavior, especially somebody that doesn't belong on campus. Like I could see a scenario where there might be two students who both attend the college so that they're accountable for who they are. Some rando stranger wandering onto a campus in a place that's not meant for strangers. Like in this case, you have students in this Como story. Did you guys see this? That said the students were aware and had reported that the laundry room lock was not functioning and that there had been break-ins there.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Maybe this guy's coming in to do laundry.
Well, that's the off-campus housing where the killing took place.
The UW facility.
What is it?
Yes.
Though? I mean, it's off-campus housing.
Yeah,
so
it's a dorm.
I know it's an apartment building that's designated for UW student housing.
It is UW. Yeah.
It's okay. It is UW because it's listed as off-campus housing in the story.
It's both.
Clarify.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had to clarify that too.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
My point is, their highest priority needs to be every single thing. If you have somebody reporting, that's crazy to me. That a week ago, this guy, and it looks very much like him from the photos that we just showed. Somebody's now dead because that either wasn't followed through on seriously, or maybe they investigated it and they just couldn't find him. But I remember when I was in college. This is 20 years ago that I was in college. And we had a very strict policy that you were not supposed to let people into the dorm. That's a protected, safe area.
Yeah.
It's verified that the people who are there should be there, can be there, and we were not supposed to let people in. Although we did have a few instances where we had local homeless people who had gotten in and were using the showers and using the facilities for whatever. I'm not against people being able to get clean, but that's not the space for it.
That's not the space. That's not the responsibility of the university.
It's not the university responsibility.
It's a safety and security risk for
It's
sure.
a huge safety and security risk. And so that in my college's case, they actually had to bring down campus security. They removed the person, and then he was turned over to the local police, who had to make a trespassing arrest against him because he kept showing up. Mentally, you can't account for what that guy might have done. Now, in this case, this guy, I don't know what this guy, I mean, if it's the same guy, then obviously he was not in a good mental space because a week later somebody's dead. But where's the university's responsibility for not following up on that?
Well, you mentioned that the lock to the laundry room was malfunctioning as reported by other residents in that dorm.
Yeah.
There was also a break-in in that dorm a week earlier.
Yeah.
I believe someone had gone through a screen. It was reported in the Times piece I read. Someone had gone through a screen window and was making their way into an apartment. When the residents noticed and screamed and the guy fled, the police were called. But according to the reporting, the landlord of that building didn't notify other tenants in that dorm of a break-in. I mean, that's, failure to secure a laundry facility and failure to alert other residents there had been an altercation with a potential break-in in that building. These kind of things can't be allowed to happen.
Can you imagine students? The thing about being in college is that you just kind of assume that people are in charge, know what they're doing. And now as a parent, if somebody had told me that my kid was living in a dorm where somebody was sneaking around following other students and then there were break-ins and there was this progression of danger to them, I would not have let them continue staying at that dorm. I would have said, hey, you know what? Until the area is secure and it's safe, I would like you to be somewhere else.
As a parent whose kid just graduated college, trust me, it's not just you trust these people. You pay these folks an incredible amount of money to have a secure campus.
Yes. That's what you're paying for.
That's exactly. The books are great. The education is wonderful. The experience to learn safely and feel comfortable in an environment so you can learn. That's part of the tuition prices you pay to send your kid to school.
And we would tell our daughter, who is the same age, she's 20, she's the same age and she's still in college. She'll be a junior next year. And I am not. What I'm about to say is not. Putting blame on anyone. No one did. Not at all. The presumption should be that I feel safe in the place that my school provides, where in the laundry room.
It's a reasonable expectation.
But we would tell our daughter all the time, "Hey, don't go to the basement laundry room without someone else." And they would. They would go in teams to do laundry.
Yeah.
And you got to be safe.
And to do anything else, to go anywhere on campus and things like that, especially at night.
What a horrible situation.
The other thing that, if you want, I can play some sound from a student who talked about that broken lock. We've got that right now. But I did want to also touch on, remember the Seattle Police described the victim as transgender to us from the very beginning, and we were wondering if that had anything to do with the motive in this crime. Maybe not at this point, which will allow us to not be using that descriptor anymore, because I talked with prosecutors, the prosecuting attorney's office, and they told me the case was not referred to them as a hate crime case. So I don't think that has anything to do
with the motive. But again, I mean, here we are talking about a 19-year-old, a kid, their full life ahead of them.
In this international dorm, I don't know if
international dorm. Yeah.
Do we know if the victim was a local or still? We
don't know. It was kind of a mixture of grad students and international students mostly, but also other students as well.
Sure.
And don't know much about her, but we do know that there's a memorial there now that's been growing. There's been a lot of grieving. I mean, let's hope that this offers some closure to some people as well. I'll never get the image out of my head of the one young lady when I was there at the morning of the crime. Another young lady running past me in tears, saying that she thinks that's my friend. I think it's my friend. Can I go over there? I said, yeah, just go to the, run to the police. And I never saw her again, which leads me to believe that was her friend. And
I didn't know until you came on the show that you were going to have that information about a week earlier, there being these other reports. That is terrifying. And that is some questions that need to be answered from the University of Washington. If those reports were made, like you say that they were, where did that go? Like, where did that investigation lead? If it's so much that you have students noticing something off and taking pictures of somebody who just a week later, can you imagine? Think about that for a second. You got those from a student?
Yes.
Those pictures? Is it somebody, how did they contact you? Did they just find you through social media or...
Yeah, it was through social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
How crazy is it that student, a week prior, noticed something off, so much so about this person? That takes a lot to pull your phone out and take a picture of a stranger who's doing something that you find so off-putting that you go like, I need to document this so that I can get this to the right people.
And they did. The student did notify campus security, UW police.
The RA, which is was aware and was involved in it, and the acknowledgement from Seattle police that they'd been working with Bellevue investigators as well, and Bellevue, I'm sorry, not Bellevue, UW. Excuse me, sorry, with University of Washington police and UW investigators acknowledged that there were other incidents that they had collected information on, and were putting pieces together.
That's crazy. I was were you guys RAs in school? By chance?
I was not.
You were not. Okay, so
my kid was. I wasn't.
I was an RA. It was a great way to like be involved in campus and also save money. I mean, like you get a huge discount on tuition and all this stuff. So I was an RA, but there's a lot of training that goes into how do you handle. A lot of it's like students fighting over shared refrigerator space or she took my milk or whatever stupid thing. But every once in a while, your job is to be the liaison between some pretty serious stuff that can happen on college campuses. I was never involved in anything this serious.
Well, the world has changed. In the 20 years since you were an RA, right? I mean, it's a different world. These kids live in a different world.
Well, I mean,
they really are.
There's always going to be dangerous elements.
Yeah.
And when I was an RA, there was a few instances where you have, disputed reports about something that was happening where you had to call police and then you had to be there as kind of the student's liaison. You're the university's representation until the higher authorities get there. And I mean, just the chain of command here, they went to the RA. The RA would have gone to, there would be like whoever's in charge of the entire dorm RA system. They would have immediately gone to like campus police, who would have probably, I assume, made it aware to the UW campus. You probably would have heard of it. I'm surprised they didn't put an alert out. That's the part to me that's surprising.
For that one. Well, if you're in that situation at the time, though, who knows? Hindsight's always 20/20. I totally. But
but like a break-in where somebody breaks in.
Well, the photos of a suspicious person are a different element than a break-in, actual break-in.
If you guys are in university, and I know we didn't plan on talking about this long, but it's very interesting to me. Let's say you guys are in leadership at UW. You're in some administrative capacity, and you find out that there's a break-in. All right, that happens. But then you find out there's also reports of somebody who's following students in the same area where there has been a break-in. That to me is like a whole nother level of scary.
Unless and I'm just putting it out there as conjecture, is what if it happens more often than we think and it's documented and reported more often than we think.
And then nothing happens from it.
And so therefore it's
equally
more
terrifying.
Yeah, well, it's a campus in the middle of a city too, so you've got to wonder about that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's just a horribly sad story.
It
but
is.
Thankfully, somebody has turned themselves in. And Luke Ducey, we appreciate your reporting on this.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's scary, but it's very, very interesting as well. Hopefully, we can learn some lessons from it. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Seattle Art Museum employees.
Yes.
Coming up next.
Yes. Okay, we're going to have a discussion about this. Mm-hmm. They want to unionize.
They do.
And I'm assuming what you think about it. You're probably assuming what I think about it.
I hate art.
Will those
You know me, I
will those
hate
assumptions prove to be true? Stick around. We'll be right back.
The John Curley Show.
I have a 1941 Dodge at the front of the house. And
there's a nest in there.
Wasps. Big nest.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I got 2 cans of wasp spray. I put them both on the seat, and I get a .22 rifle. Poof! Giant, cloud of fire and poison, which it did work. It seemed like something that Matt Damon, what's those movies he was in? Born Identity, a Born Identity thing.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Well, the rainy season is behind us, and how did your house do? How did your home do? How did your roof do? It's time to call my friends at Integrity Roofing and Construction. Get yourself a roof assessment, a video inspection today. Find out exactly if you had any leaks that were unaware of, that were taking your house to someplace you don't want it to go. Integrity Roofing and Construction have an incredible team. They do great work. I can speak firsthand of the way they treated my home, better than I've ever treated it. They've got a website full of wonderful reviews. Check them out at integrityrc.com or give them a call at 206-202-ROOF.
Gas prices keep climbing, but the cost to drive doesn't have to. At Subaru of Puyallup, fuel-efficient models help you go farther on every tank with the confidence of all-wheel drive. From the all-electric Solterra to the Forester Hybrid with up to 35 miles per gallon, your stress-free shopping experience starts at Subaru of Puyallup. For stress-free pricing, a huge selection, and all the current pricing and financing specials, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
How would you like to finally lose all those unwanted pounds quickly without spending thousands on painful injections or prescriptions? Hi, it's Donna Simpson, health and wellness expert. You probably know someone that is using Ozempic, the hottest diet craze in the country. Everyone knows about this prescription injection. Celebs use it to look their best. The problem is most of us can't afford Ozempic, and these injections can be so uncomfortable. Now you can lose the weight just as easily, but with no needles, no expensive prices, no side effects, and no worries. You need to try Lozempic, a new miracle weight loss breakthrough that performs so well it's being called nature's Ozempic. Lozempic is an easy-to-take diet pill now available without a prescription, being used by thousands to get rid of those unwanted pounds. So call now and find out how to get a free bottle.
To find out how to get your free bottle of Lozempic, call 800-605-5724, 800-605-5724. Free bottles are limited, so call 800-605-5724. That's 800-605-5724.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
I need an AC tune-up, and one room isn't comfortable.
We could do both. And if it's time to upgrade, get a free furnace with a qualifying cooling system. Plus, we help maximize rebates.
Get a tune-up or free estimate at cmheating.com. CMH EA HL751LW.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A man charged with throwing a large rock at an endangered Hawaiian monk seal could face up to a year in prison if convicted. He's due in court this afternoon. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has the story.
Federal prosecutors say Igor Litvinchuk narrowly missed the monk seal's head. Video shows local residents chasing and hitting him, and the beatdown spurred this commendation from Hawaii State Senator Brent Inawa.
Our attorney over here wants to make it clear we don't condone violence, but we did make a letter of recognition for Mr. Ambassador of Aloha.
John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
Layoffs are coming to Microsoft-owned LinkedIn. Reuters reports the company is planning to cut around 5% of its staff as it reorganizes teams and focuses personnel on areas where its business is growing. LinkedIn hasn't commented publicly. The company employs more than 17,000 full-time workers globally. Drug dealing cases are piling up fast here in King County. KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gouchard reports.
In just the first 3 months of this year, the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office filed 46 felony drug dealing charges. A little over a third of them came from trouble spots like 12th and Jackson in the Chinatown International District, Belltown, and 3rd Avenue. More than 75% of those cases involve fentanyl or meth. Public Health reports 191 fatal overdoses so far this year. In 2025, 914 deaths were mostly tied to fentanyl. Katrina Gouchard, KIRO News Radio.
A family is pleading for justice after a Spanaway road rage shooting. Suspect has not been charged. Alexander Richardson III was killed in January on 22nd Avenue East of Military Road. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson spoke with Richardson's mother.
His mother tells me not only has her son's alleged killer been found, he's claiming all of this was in self-defense.
But if you felt like you were justified, why not turn yourself in? Stand up for the victim. My son is the victim, not this guy who killed him.
We reached out to the Pierce County Prosecuting Attorney's Office for those answers. A spokesperson told us they're still waiting for the toxicology reports from that crash to see if charges will come.
And a look at Wall Street. Big gains on Wall Street today. NASDAQ, S&P 500 push further into record territory. And the Dow reclaims 50,000. Right now, the Dow up 380. S&P 500 up 62. The NASDAQ up 255 points. And now your KIRO News Radio traffic. South Center, we've got a collision north 405 right there at the I-5 interchange, blocking your left lane. This has traffic stacked up onto 518 all the way back to the airport. North 5 in Seattle, our usual scattered backups from approaching the West Seattle Bridge to the Ship Canal. About 20 minutes to get you through downtown. And South 5 still crowded coming out of Northgate to the Ship Canal Bridge. It's a 20-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Isolated showers, a quick pop of sunshine here and there today, and a high near 60. We'll rinse and repeat tomorrow. A little cooler, though, with a high around 56. Partly sunny and 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, right, welcome back to the show. This will be an interesting conversation. I'm genuinely... A lot of times when Spike and I talk about things, we can probably both guess where the other one comes down on something. But every once in a while, I don't know. You're a mystery to me.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, in a good way.
You know what? No one likes to be predictable. I think I know, assume things I know about you. I know who you are as a person. I know what's important to your priorities.
Yeah.
And you got a great heart, a good soul, and a good family. You come from a strong upbringing.
Man, that's nice.
But
Let's just move on to more good stuff.
It's nice, though, when somebody that you think you know surprises you.
Yes.
It's a good feeling.
Ha! No, just
it's a way to learn. What's that under your chair?
Surprising you. All right.
Tell me your thoughts.
Here's my question to you. The Seattle Art Museum, SAM, as it's known by some folks, their employees want to unionize. Did you see this story?
Saw the story.
They want to unionize. According to, there's a Seattle Times piece. I'll just read you a little bit about this, and then we can talk about the merits of this, whether or not we think it's good or bad. More than 100 Seattle Art Museum employees working across more than 20 front and back end departments announced their intent to unionize, says the Seattle Times. The latest effort in a growing movement of labor organizing at museums and fine art institutions around the country in the last 6 years. I did look into this. I think there's something around maybe 30 or so museums nationally that are in the process or are in the process of
seeking
finalizing union member, all these different things. Right. Anyway, so it's a growing movement specifically inside, I mean in many things, but specifically inside museums. And I'm wondering, do you think that this is a good idea or a bad idea for the Seattle Art Museum? Do you think this is going to, one, do you think it's going to work? Will they be able to unionize? And if they do, what are the long-term effects, positive or negative, going to be on the museum? Also, let's start with this.
Sure.
Do you get to the Seattle Art Museum very much?
No.
Is that the one with the big guy?
That's the Hammering Man.
The Hammering Man.
Yeah, who I thought that was Sam for the longest time.
Is it not?
No, Sam is the name of this. It's Hammering Man. He isn't Sam the Hammering Man. Sam the Hammering Man.
You've just blown my
Rolls
mind.
off the tongue.
He's not Sean Penn in that movie. He's not I Am Sam.
I assumed that was Sam.
It's not Sam. Sam is Seattle Art Museum.
Well, it gives you some sense of how arty I am.
Me too.
How cultured I am.
I was raised, this may be irrelevant, but I was raised in the Baltimore area, and we would go down to the D.C. area for family getaway vacations, drive-away vacations.
So you got to go to like the Smithsonian.
I've been in every building of the Smithsonian numerous times.
Phenomenal.
I've spent untold hours wandering the Smithsonian. I've been to the Met in New York. I've been to the Guggenheim. I love museums. I wish I was smart and cultured enough to know the value I could share with my kids. They've been there.
Yeah.
I've accompanied on field trips more than I've taken my family.
Best museum you've ever been to in the world. Quick side question. Best museum you've ever been to?
The Met in New York.
The Met. Okay.
Unbelievable. The diversity of not just art, but historical artifacts that are in the Metropolitan Museum of Art is mind-boggling.
For me, it would be the Vatican. The Vatican is just, you could wander around the Vatican for a month and not see everything that they have. And it's just every single thing that you see.
That's a great setup for this conversation because what it takes to present those opportunities of experience and learning to a community. Mm-hmm. It takes everybody behind the scenes, the guest relations, the
front of house people.
Front of house. Curatorial is the term I just picked up during this story. Those people,
nice.
The people who work to help curate the exhibits that you see in museums. You know, they're all facing sometimes food insecurity, housing insecurity because they're paid
That's
a
what
wage.
They're claiming, yeah.
And I'm assuming if they care enough to unionize, and this is happening across the country in these communities of museum employees, coast to coast, there must be an underlying level where, let's face it, we aren't investing in the arts as much as we used to.
Well, it's interesting. I assumed, and I was going to care more about their unionization efforts when I assumed that this was a publicly funded facility, but it's not.
It's not.
They only get about 4% of their funding through public dollars. The rest of it is through charitable donations, philanthropic things.
You know, the Met Gala was last week. I embarrassingly just came to realize that the Met has the Met Gala to raise funds to run the Met.
That makes sense.
That's why people spend $100,000 a year or $100,000 a ticket for the Met Gala.
Seems still pricey.
I mean, everybody's knocking Jeff Bezos for dropping $10 million to host the event. That's $10 million that's going to keep this treasure intact and moving forward for future generations. So that being said, it's a tight business to run, And to run it well, the employees need to be able to make sure that they're compensated. Now, the Met themselves, Seattle Art Museum themselves, said we look forward to speaking with the employees who are trying to unionize. We hope we value their input into the experience we provide for the community.
Yeah, this is what the museum said. They said our employees are one of our greatest assets, and we have long supported their rights, including the rights to advocate for themselves individually and collectively. We look forward to reviewing the letter, and we commit to engaging in good faith in all conversations with our employees.
But you asked a great question. Will they be able to accommodate this request to unionize?
It all comes down to dollars.
It does. I mean, if of course, if they could do whatever they want to do, they would gladly pay these folks the money they know they're worth. It's a final numbers issue.
Well,
I say the museum knows their worth, not the money the employees know they're worth. Both of them have a number.
Everybody
in their
always
head.
thinks that they're worth more than they are. Which is the truth.
Yeah.
The museum is paying them, kind of what they can, I assume.
Yeah.
The museum, I believe, operates at a deficit, or has recently, in recent years. They've had a tough time making sure that they are able to get enough money in.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, I think that's going to be an undeniable issue when you talk about, like, how much more can you afford to pay if you're barely making ends meet as it is.
Exactly.
The other question is here. I'm going to read you a little bit for the employee statement. This is what the employees are delivering. They're saying, our solidarity is a movement to improve working conditions in alignment with SAM's mission, vision, and core values. The challenges we face, such as unsustainable wages, subpar health benefits, they make it sound like a horrible place, which I wouldn't have thought before, but maybe it is. Subpar health benefits and siloed top-down decision-making, generally how decision-making happens.
That element of it I saw with little Joan this day too.
Are undeniable, systemic, and have persisted across administrations. Their bargaining goals are sustainable and respectful wages, which again is not established here. They just are saying they want a living wage, I guess. Establishing just cause protections, improving healthcare, PTO, paid time off, retirement benefits, and retention incentives, as well as more transparent, collaborative decision-making across the museum, and more broadly, creating a workplace culture of inclusion, trust, and accountability. My question is, number one, it's all just money, right? That's what they want. You want more money. It's less about top-down decision-making.
If you had to
choose one of the two.
When you go into the table, you always put in some things you can give up in any negotiation.
You want to have a place to negotiate from.
Yeah, exactly. You aim high.
But the question is, like, what is a living wage? And is it the responsibility of the museum to pay that person a living wage? Like in Seattle, what is a living? I assume that they mean a living wage for their employees who live in Seattle, so they don't have to commute like I commute, which is 2 hours into Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what is that an assumption?
I can only assume that's the case, I would think.
Yeah.
And there are different levels of employee that have different responsibilities inside the museum culture, the community that runs this place. And there are some folks who live right on the periphery of a living wage who are doing the lower menial, more type jobs and all those things. They all deserve to make a decent living. The market, the economy will determine what that is.
Can I throw you some numbers when we get back? I've crunched the numbers on this. Can I throw you some numbers of what they're currently making, basically an estimation of what they're asking for based on?
Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. But also keep in mind, they're also talking about, the health benefits that come with the job.
Okay.
The ability to be protected from unfair business or labor practices in a job. The unionization always protects workers from these various different elements of a job. It's not just all about how much you're getting paid. And they're trying to fight for those elements too.
Does it protect the workers to the disadvantage of the business being able to stay open?
Well, there's the threshold.
There's the rub.
Yeah,
and then if the business goes away, those workers aren't protected for nothing.
Yeah, we can dig into it a little more if you like.
I've crunched the numbers. Let's get back to it. I'll throw some of these at you, and you can make your decision. You're going to be judge and jury.
Ooh, I love
You're going to
power.
decide whether or not this union gets approved.
I love this.
When we come back. All right, stick around.
The G and Ursula Show.
Howard Schultz has got this blistering Wall Street Journal opinion piece, and he says other companies are also reconsidering their future here.
Just a reminder who we're talking about here. Howard Schultz is the same person that sold the Sonics 18 years ago. We don't have the Sonics here today because of Howard. I need Howard Schultz to just worry about Florida. I'm just tired of hearing from him, period.
G and Ursula, weekdays 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Spring is a perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, welcome back to the show. I think this is actually, we didn't plan this before about 2 minutes ago, but I think this is kind of emerging as, I think, it could be a new fun feature of the show. which is where we take a news story like the one we are talking about right now. Seattle Art Museum employees want to unionize. Then we can crunch the numbers, and then I will have you decide. So I will present to you the case. Spike is the judge.
I like this.
You're sitting on the bench. We should get you a gavel, actually. If you're watching on the feed, there would be something that you would smash as a sign of your authority. I don't really have anything to give you. Oh, I have something for you.
Do you? Oh, there you go.
Swing line stapler. There you go.
It's my stapler. I didn't give my stapler.
Judge Milton.
Oh, that's wild. Judge Milton.
All right.
This is people's court.
Judge Milton, here's where we are. Seattle Art Museum employees want to unionize. There's at least 100 of them, according to the various news stories. Seattle Art Museum has, according to everything that I could find, somewhere in the neighborhood of 350 to 400 employees that work there. About 100 want to unionize, front end, back end. The question is, as you go forward, if they do successfully unionize, which would mean a pay increase, if you do get a pay increase, are the remaining 250 employees going to keep working at their non-unionized wages? Probably not. That's going to create a very awkward work environment. So by de facto, they will also get a pay raise. Here's some information on the Seattle Art Museum that I found interesting.
Let's hear it.
Again, they are a nonprofit 501c3, which means that they don't actually have profits and losses as much as they just show net income on their as the bottom line every year. Did they make money? Did they lose money?
Okay, it's a total sum.
But they're not
equation.
profit. It's not a profit.
Okay.
Per se. All right. So their net income for the most recent year, they had an operating budget of $41.6 million, and they actually only had revenue of $38.8 million. So they actually had a net loss of $2,742,492. So we're just about $3 million in the hole.
Okay.
As an operating budget. Now, this union has now come to you, Judge Spike, and they are asking for, among other things, a lot of things, but it's all coming down to pay. And a lot of it is this living wage thing. So how do we calculate living wage? The average salary right now of a Seattle Art Museum employee is about $25 an hour, according to various websites, platforms like a salary tracker, salary.com, or Zippia shows that. If they are able to get an increase to union wages, that number would jump up to, for single employees who have no children, that number to live, according to MIT living wage calculator, to live in Seattle, you need about $28.70 an hour, which works out to be just around $57,000, $58,000 a year.
Okay.
If you have a child, that number jumps up to $49.50 an hour. Now, as a side judgment, are you able to pay employees with children who have a higher burden? And if we're talking about living wage, I don't know how you can discount the cost of a child. Can employees who have children make more than their coworkers for doing the exact same job if we're talking about a living wage? What's your judgment on that? And then we'll get back to the unionization part.
No.
Same pay.
An employee doing a job, whether it's based on gender or marital status or parental status.
Same pay.
A fair job and fair pay is the same number across the board.
Okay. That's it. I mean, that sounds fair to me. But
that's a consideration a personal family has to make. It's not the responsibility of an employer.
There you go. That's a great way of saying it. Okay. So that's one judgment. Now, to the larger question, how much this would add for Seattle Art Museum. They estimate that the cost for them to unionize, according to the various places that I've seen, I looked at ProPublica, I looked at the MIT living wage calculator, I looked at The Stranger, who did some estimations on these various things. And what the number that keeps coming back is somewhere in the neighborhood of $7,000 to $17,000 per employee, the increased cost to Seattle Art Museum.
Okay.
Now, they have at least 100 who want to unionize. They have 360 employees or thereabouts, probably who would all need a pay raise, because you can't ask one, like you said, you can't ask one employee to work for less than the other. So if we're talking about, let's call it middle ground, let's say it's $12,000 a piece for all of those employees. What would you're good with math. What would that number be? Let's
350 times 12?
350 times 12.
That's almost $500,000 a year.
Okay. So that's $500,000 extra dollars. They're already $3 million in the hole. Can they afford to unionize? Is now the question at the bench.
Then I miss. Let's be clear what is being asked of the court. Should the employees have the right to unionize? Is that what we're being asked, or because if you're asking me to weigh in,
I didn't ask you to have the right. We all know the rights to unionize.
Okay, that's good because every employee, collective bargaining, every employee has the right to collective bargaining.
Yeah, no, I'm not asking you to change state law.
Okay,
I'm asking is, can this company bear the burden of a union, or
I'm an arbitrator here. I'm not the judge. I'm deciding whether or not the Seattle Art Museum can meet the demands of unionized employees.
Yes.
Because here's how I'm going to break this down.
Okay.
Say a certain element of the employee base for Seattle Art Museum wants to unionize. They have the right to do so.
Mm-hmm.
The non-union employees would not be entitled to the same wage benefits as a union employee because union employees pay an extra amount of union dues.
Points of privilege.
Sure. Objections.
Objection.
Yes, sir.
Do you foresee this being an issue with the employees who are now making $12,000 less than their coworkers? Is that going to cause any problems for the coworkers?
If it's a problem for the coworker, they can then decide upon themselves to join into the union.
Okay.
Pay the additional union dues to get those benefits that they paid into for this benefit of collective bargaining.
Fair enough.
Can the Seattle Art Museum bear union wages?
Yes.
I say no.
So you would not let them unionize?
I would rule against the efforts to not to unionize, but to grant the contract the union is seeking.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Are you going to, in arbitration, allow this union to have the rights that the union is fighting for, and that we just can't afford to do that? It's not practical in the library's best, or the museum's best interest.
Sure. Very interesting.
Let's come back with another offer.
All right. There you heard it. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
The John Curley Show.
I have a 1941 Dodge at the front of the house. And
there's a nest in there.
Wasps. Big nest.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I got 2 cans of wasp spray. I put them both on the seat, and I get a .22 rifle. Poof! Giant, cloud of fire and poison, which it did work. That seemed like something that Matt Damon, what's those movies he was in? Born Identity, a Born Identity thing.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our kids zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Grainger offers the professional grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump and China's President Xi Jinping have talked about a wide range of issues as the Chinese leader hosts the American president in Beijing. CBS's Weijia Zhang, traveling with the president, says Iran is one of the most important issues.
There is no formal announcement about China, for example, purchasing less Iranian oil, because right now it is its biggest customer. And there were some talks about whether Trump would explicitly make that ask. So we don't have the details yet.
The Senate Armed Services Committee is holding a hearing on the 2027 budget for U.S. Central Command and U.S. Africa Command. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper was asked about the Strait of Hormuz and the threat that Iran poses.
Their capability have been significantly degraded. If I just use my own professional experience, in 100 transits through the Strait of Hormuz, you would typically see 20 to 40 fast boats, and lately we've seen 2 or 3.
A federal judge has blocked the Trump administration's demands for confidential transgender patient information from Rhode Island's largest hospital. The decision marks another setback for the Justice Department, which has faced similar rulings from at least 7 other federal courts. The U.S. Supreme Court has issued a decision concerning the trucking industry. More from Loyola Law School professor Lori Levinson.
In a decision that's going to be seen as a major victory for truck safety advocates, the Supreme Court decided unanimously today that victims of deadly crashes with these trucking companies can sue in state court for negligent operation of their carriers.
Lawmakers in Georgia will return to the Capitol next month to redraw the state's political maps. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien has more.
Saying the decision to call lawmakers back to the Capitol is simply an effort to silence black voters, State Senator Nikki Merritt and members of the Legislative Black Caucus are vowing to fight the redistricting push.
Let's be very clear. This is an attack on Metro Atlanta. This is an attack on black political power.
Following the announcement, Governor Kemp said Democrats should wait to see the maps before criticizing them. Whatever maps lawmakers draw will not apply until the 2028 election. Jonathan O'Brien for CBS News, Atlanta.
A now grounded airline is facing new legal action. CBS's Jim Krasula explains.
Several terminated workers have filed a lawsuit saying Spirit Airlines failed to give proper layoff notices when it abruptly shut down earlier this month. The legal action also claims that the company's management misled employees about the chances of Spirit staying in business.
The lawsuit also claims Spirit still owes workers back pay and benefits even after shutting down. Stocks close up on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
A suspect turns himself in over a fatal stabbing of a UW student. More on that straight ahead. But first, your KIRO News Radio traffic, and we welcome Lori back to the traffic desk. Hello, Lori.
Hello. Thank you, Nate. Traffic comes to you from Lake Washington windows and doors. I-5 southbound, the on-ramp from 518. Now we have 2 lanes blocked as you're getting off the ramp onto the freeway and 2 lanes of the main line without car fire. 405 northbound just south of 181. We have a collision. That's in the HOV lane. You're backed up a little bit approaching the scene. Now, if you're heading from Bellevue to Federal Way, that's a 30-minute drive. A 20-minute drive, Linwood to Seattle, also Linwood to Bellevue. Feel the freedom of lower energy bills this Memorial Day. Get $525 off every window, $1,000 off every door, plus 12 months zero-interest financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. The suspect in Sunday night's fatal stabbing of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is in custody. He turned himself in to Bellevue police last night, and he's due in court this afternoon. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Investigators say the 31-year-old suspect made contact with Bellevue police about 10:40, then walked in and surrendered. The arrest came just hours after police released a clear picture of his face asking for the public's help. SPD Chief Sean Barnes on the G and Ursula show says surveillance video was key in solving the case.
This person could have been walking around for a very, very long time while we wait for fingerprints to come back, while we wait for DNA, but certainly the cameras have to point us in the right direction and to identify a suspect quickly.
The suspect is jailed for investigation of murder. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Federal agents shut down an alleged human smuggling scheme at the U.S.-Canada border. 2 British Columbia men appeared in federal court in Tacoma this week. Prosecutors say last week 8 Vietnamese nationals were caught after illegally entering the U.S. at Point Roberts, then flying to Bellingham. Authorities say some of them paid up to $15,000 to be smuggled into the United States. A man accused of throwing a large rock at an endangered monk seal in Hawaii is due in a Seattle courtroom today on 2 federal charges. Prosecutors say Igor Litvinchuk's actions were captured on cell phone video.
Why would you throw a rock at it? Hello?
Eyewitnesses say Litvinchuk said he was, quote-unquote, rich enough to pay any fines when they confronted him. He could face a year behind bars and up to $70,000 in fines if convicted. A new concert venue is coming to Seattle. The Times reports a 5,500 capacity venue will be built at the site of the old Pyramid Brewery. The Seattle Mariners developed the site in 2021. Live Nation and the Mariners are teaming up on this one. The name of the new venue hasn't been confirmed, but there are details about it at SotoBallroom.com. And now your KIRO News Radio weather, 62, mostly cloudy this afternoon. Friday and Saturday look to be about the same. A little cooler, though, with highs in the mid-50s. Then the sun works its way back on Sunday. Partly sunny, breezy conditions and 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. I want to highly encourage all of you. Laura's not with us today. She's got she's at a wedding, actually. She's out for a couple days. It's wedding season.
Yeah, it's that time of a young person's life that they're friends. Not Laura yet. Who knows? We can, I don't know.
Jeez Louise.
Well, I mean,
it could be any day now.
It could be. I don't know. Maybe she's. I don't even know.
Let's
she's
move
dating.
on. We've stepped in it.
No, we haven't. Kids these days, everybody, it's that time of their lives.
That time of their lives. Everybody
right?
knows getting married. Weddings are a lot of fun.
Going to more weddings this spring than I've been to in the entirety of my existence.
It is fun. It is fun. I love going to a wedding now.
It's fantastic.
A wonderful.
What a great experience to be a part of. You bet.
Great experience.
It's magic.
It's
Be
magic.
sitting here with us. Trying to make sense out of this for 3 hours a day.
The reason I brought that up and why we're now going to move away from it. She's not able to
post. What kind of gifts you think? I'm sorry.
Just quit offending people. We were.
Stop stepping on the rakes, dude.
Often.
But I like it in my forehead. It's the greatest.
Often we will post stories, and then you can text in, and we'll give you a code, and we send it to you for free, which we can't do because we don't know how to push buttons and things like that. Yeah. But I did write something on mynorthwest.com, which is it's going to happen in just a little bit, and so I wanted to mention it real fast. Sound Transit Board of Directors is going to be meeting at 1:30 for an emergency meeting for public comment on what they should do with this budget hole. We talked about this like maybe a week and a half ago.
Oh, yeah. I read your piece. I read it's good piece.
Did you see it?
I did. Of course. Come on, man.
All right. It's on mynorthwest.com.
I love what you write.
People should go and check it out because it asks a very simple question. And then please share this with your friends or comment. I'd love to get your thoughts on this as well. Are they going to listen to the public comment, or are they just going to take more money from the public? There's two things that are possible. The public will comment, and they will say, please fix this problem without asking for more.
I wonder if they know they have options.
Well, the truth is that the public doesn't really have options. Because
I'm at the council.
Oh.
They've got options.
Well, so
do they even know?
In 26, the Sound Transit has already authorized a 1% tax increase to your property taxes. They can legally do this without going to you and me because people gave them
they wrote that in.
They wrote that in.
Yep.
People gave them when they voted for it, people gave them the ability to basically just decide to take more of your money.
Worst case scenario, we may need more money.
Yeah. Now, they can do this annually. So you watch. They're $34 billion in the hole right now, and if they have any dream of finishing this boondoggle, which is what I think it is, personal opinion, there's no way of getting it finished without taking a lot more money.
Or cutting services. They had a meeting 2 weeks ago with the respective communities about the possibility of not delivering on services already promised and paid for. That didn't go well.
Yeah, they're already balking on that, I believe.
Yes.
I mean, the suggestions, and they did it in a real tricky way. They said, these are things we just don't have funded yet. Now, the thing is, they did have it funded. When they originally proposed this thing in 2016, they told the taxpayers it was going to be $54 billion.
Yeah.
It's $50 billion in actual project cost, $4 billion in financing expenses. So $54 billion was the price tag. Now, the estimate is $185 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Or thereabouts, give or take $10 billion.
You mean when you buy a car, there's a sticker in the window?
Yeah.
With all the different features in that vehicle?
Exactly.
Right? And now imagine that when you take delivery of the car, when they're driving it to your house, they're telling you it's 3 times the price.
Yeah.
And half the stuff in the window ain't going to be there.
Yes. Or we can give you a car that doesn't have tires or doors.
Right.
At 3 times. It's still going to be 3 times the price.
Yeah, but we're going to need more money if you want brakes.
It's
you want brakes
perfect analogy. And why this whole thing is such a... Anyway.
Because they sold it to us at a sticker price.
Yeah. And now they want to continue charging for it. And here's the thing. They're talking about an extension out to Issaquah, which is still on the table as a thing that they would like to do, but it's not by any means a guaranteed thing.
Sure.
In what universe does anybody think that it's actually a good idea to trust these people with the money that it would take to get to Issaquah? They can't get to Ballard. Right now, they cannot get to Ballard.
No.
And they want to go to Issaquah? And they're saying that, well, if we do want to get to Issaquah, based on how long we think it's going to take right now, we can get there in 24 years. And Lord knows how much more of your money. The whole thing is like, it almost just, you read my piece on mynorthwest.com. You'll just be laughing as you're going like, well, when do you just stop? When is enough?
If you promise them, if they promise us Issaquah, and if we okay Issaquah, that's just, you know what that's a guarantee of? Jetpacks. Because they'll deliver it the month after we don't need it anymore.
We'll get jetpacks before we get a train.
That's right.
You're 100% right.
And they'll have a finished train no one will ride because we've all got jetpacks.
Or they'll never have a finished train. You'll just have a tax bill for it as you're flying your jetpack. Looking at all the housing that's been purchased with eminent domain for a train track that's not going to ever arrive. Anyway, you know my feelings about it. Go let me know your feelings in the comments on and I'll try to respond if I can. All right. Can I play you some audio? This is kind of amazing audio. Governor Christine Gregoire, former governor of Washington, who I believe left in 2013?
12, yeah. Well, the 12 was the election cycle.
Okay, so then Inslee kicks in 2013.
Yeah, and then 3 tours of his duty.
And then Inslee's in for 12 years?
DODIE duty.
Okay, yeah. Duty. Boy, what a big duty he left behind.
Tour of duty with 2 Ds.
Listen to Christine Gregoire. She is speaking. Where is this at?
It's at a forum. It was on TVW called Washington's Past, Present, and Path Forward. This is moderator Chris Johnson basically asking former Governor Gregoire is like, does Does she think that the current legislative governance have any idea how damaging their current policies are?
All right. This is Governor Christine Gregoire. Listen to this. Fascinating. Oh, I'll turn my audio on. You'll even be able to hear it better if you can.
It's even better
if I play it.
Do you think majority leaders understand, do you think our legislature understands the impact of the policy environment as it relates to the economy?
No.
Simple answer.
Think about it first.
I really don't. As evidenced by, you mentioned the estate tax. I argued to some folks about the estate tax. We were the highest in the country, tied with Hawaii at 20%. We went to 35.
Ugh.
We're not just the highest. We're beyond the highest. And I said, no.
By the way, for anybody who wants to do simple math, which I like to do, very simple math, that's almost, you're the highest already. You're tied for the highest. Yeah. And then you go, you know what would be nice? Why don't we nearly double it? I mean,
yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right, back to Christine Gregoire talking common sense.
You understand the consequences of this. Can I see your fiscal note? Because I'd like to help it. Because here's what you can expect. Those people are not homeless. They will not pay. They're leaving. When they leave, they stop paying cap gains. When they leave, they stop giving significantly to philanthropy, which would otherwise be necessary by government. So, do you understand?
Quick pause here. She's making great points, and I never thought I would say that. But Governor Christine Gregoire is making great points because whatever Washington has become, 10, 12 years ago, whenever she was in power, politics have shifted significantly.
20, 16 years ago, yes.
Yes, they've shifted significantly.
What used to be called the Democratic point of view has become this...
It's now moderate to right.
Well, yeah. No, now today's Democratic Party is such to the extreme far left.
I love that meme. Have you seen that meme? You've probably seen it many places, but it's like, it would say, like, I used to be a Democrat, and it's like, it's a person on a scale, a time scale. And then it shows, like, so this is you 10 years ago. And then it shows you now, and you haven't moved, but the party has moved so far to the left that you're now technically on the moderate right side.
Yes.
Which is what I think somebody like Christine Gregoire, if she walked into an office right now, she's having a sit down with a guy like Ferguson or a guy like Jamie Peterson who's pushing all these things, they would look at her like she's crazy, and they would call her probably a conservative. And they would say, like, listen, we don't like your politics here in Washington State. But what she's saying makes a lot of sense.
I just looked it up. She's, 79 years old now?
Yeah.
Too late to get back into politics?
Probably
I'm
too
afraid.
late. Yeah, probably too late.
That's the kind of common sense I remember.
See the consequences of what you're doing.
Oh, the other reason for the pause real fast. Here's a real-world example of what she's talking about. Exactly. So Jeff Bezos starts Amazon, makes a ton of money, very successful. His parents invest in his company early because they believe in their son. His parents see the value of that money grow exponentially and become fabulously wealthy. Jeff Bezos is then chased out of Washington because of the capital gains tax. He takes his money with him elsewhere. He saves like $1 billion a year. Like the first year that he moves, he saves $1 billion by cashing in out of state. So that money would have gone to Washington, but then it just is into his pocket. Washington loses out on untold future hundreds of millions, billions of dollars from his largesse. A guy like him, his parents probably wouldn't be living in Washington if he weren't here to begin with, right? And investing in his company. So his parents made the single largest cancer donation. I think it was to Fred Hutch. I could be wrong about that, but I think it was to Fred Hutch. Hundreds of millions of dollars. The single largest cancer donation in all of cancer donation history, not just in Washington, in the country, because their son became fabulously wealthy, but has now been chased out of Washington. That's exactly what she's talking about. It's not just the taxes that these rich people pay.
No, it's what they contribute to society. It now falls on the burden of the government.
Yes. All right.
I'm with you.
Let's have her continue.
And the answer is no. I left office with a budget of $33 billion.
Pause. What year did she leave?
12.
What year is
13?
it?
26. I had to check.
And the budget is more than double what it was. What is that percentage increase? That's 115% increase or something since she was here?
It was 33. It's now 80? 80. It's closer to 150, 160% increase. It's almost. It's not.
Be still my heart.
100% increase should be doubled. Yeah, 200% increase should be quadrupled.
Okay, here it is.
Or 3 times.
And the budget today is $80 billion. I think that's a little bit too much of a growth. And yet, how we find ourselves at the end of every legislative session now is in the hole and projected to be in the hole. I would suggest to you, we don't really have an income problem. We have a...
I got it.
Does she write for you? Do you write for her?
Is this not?
She listens to the show.
She must listen to the show.
Yeah, because I've heard those words of wisdom before.
You know, it was really. I will say, it's funny how time heals all wounds.
And wounds all heals.
And wounds all heals.
Yeah.
When I was producing for Dory, he and Christine Gregoire used to go round and round.
Yep, I remember.
They disagreed. Well. They disagreed on a lot of things, but they did not disagree on as many things as people would probably. I mean, she had her own spending issues, and she supported things that obviously Dory did not support. But I think just actually they were probably way closer than the average person is now from where Ferguson and Peterson are.
Let me ask you something, though.
Yeah.
It's because you wonder, how does this drift happen from common sense, moderate Democratic policies?
Piece by piece.
How does it happen?
Yeah.
So, but if I also know numerous people that would actually say today, President George Bush, I would welcome with open arms. People of my political stripe.
Sure.
I mean, both sides, it seems to me, have strayed far to the extreme. And is that just a response to the electorate? Is it a response to the other party swinging to these wild extremes of point of view and perspective and priority?
Probably.
It's got. I mean, it's a little bit of the Democratic swing to the radical left is a bit reactive to what you can see across the policies of the far extreme right.
No, I wouldn't.
Wait, well, let me give you an example. When you say that Washington is a sanctuary state
I wouldn't excuse Washington.
I'm not saying excuse
poor governance.
No. I'm
just
asking. I'm just asking about why. I'm saying about why we swing to these extremes. Why my Democratic Party of today doesn't look anything like the Democratic Party of my governor 16 years ago.
I'll answer your question with a question.
Sure.
If Biden had a pretty precipitous downswing of health issues towards the end of his presidency,
okay,
would you agree or disagree with that?
He declined precipitatively off a cliff.
Off a cliff. Okay.
He swan dove into his golden years,
as evidenced in the debate with Trump.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If Biden had not had his health issues and all the cognitive stuff that I think we all look back on now and go it was fairly clear. And then if they had not tried to shoehorn in a candidate instead of allowing Democrats to have some say into who that candidate might be.
Sure.
Do you think that Trump would be in office right now?
Nope, absolutely not.
I agree with you.
The way the Democratic Party handled that's a whole different. We can spend a week on that one. You know the day the Democratic Party lost the 2024 election
was the day that Biden said, "I'm going to run again."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Back in, I think it was February of 21.
I agree. He
ran as, I'll do this one term as a return to normalcy.
Yeah.
As a I'm fighting for the soul of the nation.
And then he said,
We've
it's
won
too
the fight
important.
for the soul.
I can't step away.
Important. I'm no spring chicken.
Yeah.
I could have wrote that speech. We could have wrote that speech together.
And then he said, chicken.
Chicken.
Is there a chicken somewhere?
Yeah,
where's the chicken
here? No malarkey.
Come on, I'll take him kidding around, folks.
Yeah, that's
a horrible impression, by the way.
And the 11th hour realization, not just decision, and that's them protecting him, insulating him, the world from reality, him from reality.
There was a lot. Yeah, that's a whole separate thing.
It is, and I can honestly tell you, I think we're looking at the same situation on the other side of the fence, right here, right now, today.
Well, here's the thing in Washington, Christine Gregoire. When Christine Gregoire sounds like a moderate conservative,
the voice of reason,
then I think
Christine Gregoire.
I think Ferguson. I think Governor Ferguson and guys like Jamie Peterson, all these guys, I think are probably sweating a little bit because their hold on power. I think if you have somebody like Gregoire who is saying these things,
but
that means a lot of people are saying these things.
But can a moderate gain traction these days? Can a moderate point of view, a centrist point of view?
Of course,
I hope so.
Literally,
I mean, I hope so. But first off, you can't win a primary as a moderate centrist. You can't. You got to win a primary by running to the extremes every election cycle.
I don't know about that.
You run far to the extreme in the primaries, and you run back to the center in the generals.
At some point, there is a tipping point. I don't know when it's going to happen in Washington, but what we're seeing happen in Los Angeles right now with the mayoral race.
Yeah.
All Spencer Pratt is doing, former reality star, now very, very competitive candidate to be the next mayor of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
all he's doing, it's a nonpartisan race. He is a registered Republican, but he is not running to say, I am a Republican. It's a nonpartisan race.
His campaign is, yeah.
Well, just the office. It's a nonpartisan office. Yeah. So he is saying, that's run horribly. This is run horribly. He's literally walking around and just saying, look at all these people dumping needles.
Yeah.
Look at the fact that our bridges don't even have lights anymore because they've stolen all the copper. Look at the fact that these houses, what used to be houses, is now just ashes. These are easy things for people to say, hey, you know what? There is a baseline for things that we don't find acceptable, and that's many of those things. So in Washington has a real problem with spending. I mean, I honestly do think it is starting to cut through because, for better or worse, everything is expensive right now, but it's even more expensive in Washington State. Now, there are a lot of federal things that play into that. Totally understandable. I'm not blaming Washington for all of it.
Yeah.
But Washington consistently, year after year after year, regardless of who's in the White House, it was happening with Biden, it's going to happen with Trump, it'll happen with the next president, whoever it is. Washington will remain unaffordable for most people, and it's because of the policies of the leaders in Washington. And at some point, you just can't afford those policies anymore. And so you're going to have somebody step in, a moderate like Gregoire.
I would love to see it.
Wouldn't that be
I would
interesting?
love to see it.
I mean, she's too old, but moderate.
Maybe somebody's listening and here's
some normal person.
And just this common sense reality can cut through.
A normal person, for crying out loud? Good golly.
Who was on the Real World Seattle? We can maybe grab from the pull from, right? Is there anybody?
Who's the guy that was slapping people? Because that's what
Puck.
Was that his
Where
name?
are you now? Yes,
name?
yeah, I believe it was.
We don't want that. We don't want slappers. We don't want slappers.
No, we kid.
All right, when we come back, this is great. I'm excited about this.
Got the mayor, right?
We got the mayor Federal Way.
Yes, sir.
The King County Regional Homeless Authority, recently, it was revealed that they just have a bunch of money they can't account for, which to many of us looks like fraud.
Write it off. We're floated out there for some of it.
Yeah. This guy, the mayor of Federal Way, who I believe has a background in litigation, but we'll talk with him about that.
He ran for prosecutor, I believe.
Well, he's a mayor now.
Yeah, he's a mayor now, but he knows what he's talking about.
And he's saying, guys, don't allow this Regional Homeless Authority to just disappear into the good night. We need to get a look at those books. We can find that money, and we can get it back. And if it was spent improperly or if it was fraud, we can find it. He's going to join us next. Stick around.
KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PASS to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain, and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Lunch was great, but this traffic is awful.
Can we stop at a bathroom?
Are you all right?
I keep having stomach issues after eating, like diarrhea, gas and bloating, abdominal pain, and sometimes oily stools.
Sound familiar? Those stomach issues may actually be a pancreas issue called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Creon pancrelipase may help manage EPI. Creon is a prescription medicine used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. Call 800-633-9110 or visit creoninfo.com to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
I'm asking my doctor about EPI and if Creon could help.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know Sunbucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. World Cup fans in Seattle might want to get your sea legs ready. The Sounders and Reign announced yesterday they're putting a floating barge on Puget Sound for the tournament this summer. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the 286-foot barge will feature a mini soccer pitch and host watch parties during the World Cup. It'll be towed out and moored next to Pier 62 on the waterfront. The barge is a ticketed and private rental space sponsored by Lenovo, Starbucks, and Edward Jones. But Pier 62 right next door will have free events open to the public. A family is mourning today 34-year-old Alex Keene, the Bothell hiker whose 3-day search on Mount Pew ended in tragedy. Search crews began looking for Keene on Sunday after he didn't show up for work at Skydive Snohomish, where he was a full-time pilot. Keene's aunt spoke with KIRO 7 TV.
When we did get the call that they had found him, it was gut-wrenching. I mean, the initial shock of knowing that this 34-year-old strong young man did not make it was it's just absolutely devastating.
Family and friends say Keene was an avid outdoorsman, a hiker, climber, snowboarder, and a mentor to many young pilots. An update today on Washington's ongoing snow drought, one of the worst on record. Snow has melted 26 days earlier than normal, and most monitoring stations report less than half their typical snowpack. On April 8th, the Washington Department of Ecology issued a drought declaration for all watersheds in the state. Karen Boombako is with the Washington State Climate Office.
In the past, snow droughts occurred about twice a decade on average. Today, they happen about 4 times per decade on average. By the 2050s, models estimate that snow droughts in Washington will occur about 7 years per decade on average.
The state is now in its 4th consecutive year of drought. Officials warn water supplies will fall short of summer demand. And your closing bell report, Starbucks could be getting a $30 million boost to expand in Tennessee. The Seattle Times reports the state is considering a grant to help Starbucks build a new corporate hub in Nashville. Starbucks has pledged to invest about $100 million in Tennessee and create up to 2,000 jobs over the next 5 years. The incentive still needs final approval. No comment from Starbucks. Right now, the Dow up 370, the NASDAQ up 233, the S&P 500 up 57. And now over to the KIRO News Radio traffic desk, and we say hello to Lori.
Hello there. Traffic is brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. I-5 southbound, the on-ramp from 518. It looks like that situation has cleared. A car fire a little slow as you head past the scene. Northbound I-5 at 200th. Look out for a new collision. That one's taking up 2 left lanes. A 40-minute drive now, Federal Way to Seattle, causing about a 12-minute delay. And if you're going the opposite direction, a 5-minute slowdown, Seattle to Federal Way and Seattle to Renton now will take you an extra 16 minutes. With the high gas prices, now is the time to buy a hybrid or all-electric at Subaru of Puyallup. Great selection and pricing are at your stress-free dealership, SubaruofPuyallup.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Mostly cloudy, 62 today, mid-50s Friday and Saturday before sun returns on Sunday. 61, cloudy and breezy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. I'm so excited to welcome this next guest onto the show. He's the mayor of Federal Way. He is a former prosecutor. He is a University of Washington graduate. Also, I believe, a former linebacker for the Huskies. Jim Farrell joins us now. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Fantastic to have you here. We are excited to talk with you because I saw your video earlier. You were discussing King County Regional Homeless Authority and your warnings about, hey, let's not let this organization just go quietly into the good night.
I believe slime away. That's not what you said, but that's how I describe it.
Well, we don't want the computers to go away. I mean, like any evidence of this $13 million missing dollars, possibly more. How do we even find that from, you got to investigate that somehow. Tell us a little bit about what you would like to see happen.
Well, first of all, I am really glad that the current executive director did a forensic audit. And I think that's just the beginning. And, good on her for getting that done. It did identify up to $13 million. There's a discrepancy of whether it's $13 million or $8 million. But looking into it, there's a lot of public money that's missing and unaccounted for. And so, I've really called for a 3-point plan. And the first part is I think they've got to immediately suspend operations. The second part, as you mentioned, is they've got to freeze the bank accounts and secure the computers and the records. And the third thing they need to do is not just an audit, they need a forensic accounting. In today's day and age, you could tell electronically this money is in the bank, and they should, with a forensic accounting, be able to figure out who got this money, where it went, and then track it down from there.
Let me ask you a quick question about that. Just the difference between a forensic audit and an investigation. I assumed when a forensic audit happens, those questions are answered. But you're suggesting that's not the case?
Yeah, I would kind of, the metaphor I would use is, I think it's probably about a 10,000-foot level, sort of an overview of the issues. But a forensic accounting is what they need to do to get into the absolute nitty-gritty about who received these disbursements, who was, which bank accounts did this money go to? Because the money shouldn't be missing. it should be accountable. I mean, you should be able to figure out if there was money there and where it went electronically. You should be able to find it.
You're the mayor of a town. Who paid into this King County Regional Homeless Authority? This is your. Am I wrong about that, or?
Well, it's general county dollars. This is,
not the city of Federal Way, but your constituents and their tax dollars help pay for this solution to a problem that was grossly mismanaged. It's not like you're just looking outside as a guy with a background in prosecutorial law and a lawyer yourself. This is your constituency that deserves answers to this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I never thought this was a good idea back in 2019. And I thought, they're creating a permanent government for something that, should be the responsibility of county government and city governments. And so this is public dollars. I've had a few people say, hey, you're not on the board. You're not a King County council person. How come you're so adamant about this? And Spike, you're absolutely right. I'm an elected official in King County, and most importantly, I'm a citizen in King County.
Yes.
And this is outrageous. It is gross mismanagement on a scale we have never seen in this area.
So let me ask you a quick question. You say that the money can be found if you do an actual investigation into this, and that was one thing that I was scratching my head at when the initial reports came out and they said this is $13 million. We don't know what happened to it. I'm sitting there going like, well, is that willful ignorance because you don't want people to know where it went? Like, how do you just misplace $13 million? I can't do anything these days. Almost nothing happens with like cash, and I assume that the King County Regional Homeless Authority is not just making all of their transactions on cash, getting receipts to and fro with paper written in pencil that then got caught up in a fire or something. So there must be a paper trail for these things digitally somewhere.
That's right.
So, go ahead.
You can't conduct your life these days without a digital footprint of some sort, whether it's your cell phone, banking records. The other thing is, I do want to say that I think the way they set this up, that I did talk to about 3 or 4 board members of the Housing Authority. They set this up in regard to a reimbursement a process, because there is no direct revenue that comes in. It's on a reimbursement level. I can tell you when this first got set up, they didn't have any of these safeguards. They had bad accounting, and if there is fraud, there needs to be accountability. And that I think that we need to roll up our sleeves and get committed to securing the assets, securing the bank accounts, and figuring this out. And then we'll see what happens then.
Well, the problem that this agency was tasked to address isn't going away. The problem still exists in King County and surrounding areas. In fact, it's getting worse by the year. And if you don't learn from what went wrong the last time, how can we expect to do any better the next time out? And the problem's not going away. We've still got the problem to face. I don't see how you can't have a forensic audit or a forensic accounting of where this all went, just so you don't make the same dang mistakes twice.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what the current board did is they gave themselves 90 days, and I think they want to clean up the processes and make sure they've got where this doesn't happen any further. But I think you've got to start at that fundamental level of figuring out, is this bad accounting? Is it just a matter of, cash flow and all that? Or did somebody actually commit fraud? And we've got to figure that out. Now, I would also say, I think the board members are concerned that if they suspend operations, it's going to have an impact on people in the community, the unsheltered, the homeless.
The services offered, yeah.
Yeah, and they're worried about that gap. But there's never a good time to break up, right? And at some point, you just got to say, this is over. We need to suspend operations. And they should figure out a way to wind that down as fast as possible. And the other thing is...
Oh, go ahead, Jim.
I think that you've got to be really careful about, I think L.A. and Spokane and not Spokane, excuse me, Portland, L.A. and other communities have thrown a ton of money at this. And I think actually if you tripled the money, you'd probably triple the problem. I think there have got to be better ways to address this. We are very, we're very careful about how we handle these issues. We want to make sure that we provide services for people. But, my philosophy is that, comfort is the enemy of change. And if you make it comfortable to be homeless and you make it, to where people don't ever find bottom, they're going to stay right where they're at. So we need to have systems of accountability, not just for, with money, but with the people we're trying to help.
Boy, I couldn't agree with that more.
Yeah, and we're not talking about inhumanity, inhumane treatment of people either. You're absolutely right. We always say there's so much carrot and not enough stick in the way we handle problems in this town.
Yeah. You know, I'm wondering as I'm thinking about the
about Jim's future in politics, and can he move up to a big city?
Well, no, I like what I'm hearing about you, Jim. I like, and I think you should, obviously keep going. But the King County Regional Homeless Authority, the big thing that shocked me is that I understand that they're in this process of trying to figure this out. Do they actually think there's some hope that they get to continue after having this massive blunder where everybody just goes like, guys, like this seems almost, it hasn't been proven yet, but it sure seems criminal to me that all this money is missing. We can't keep these people running things. That doesn't make any sense. Is that possible that they think they're going to keep their jobs?
That's kind of what I'm hearing, and what really surprises me is where's the outrage?
I'm outraged.
No, I hear you.
With the board members, I think sometimes you just gotta stand. You really gotta stand up and be unreasonable. And I think that this is when $13 million goes missing, it's time to get unreasonable and figure out, hey, put our foot down, and we're not going to spend another dollar at this until we fix it and figure out what happened.
And one of my favorite things, especially when it's public dollars being wasted, I just fire them. I like to fire people who are not accountable. And then Spike's laughing, but I'm being dead serious. We need more people who are getting public dollars and spending it poorly to get fired and to be made an example of so that others don't think that they can do the same thing.
Well, you owe it to the people you're trying to help with these resources. You really do.
Yeah, absolutely. Jim Farrell, Mayor of... I'm just bumbling over my words.
Mayor of Federal Way.
Mayor
Your
of
Honor,
Federal
the Mayor.
Way.
Your Honor.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. We'd love to get you back on the show sometime soon.
Great. Thank you. Anytime. Thank you, guys.
Fantastic. All right.
Take care.
We got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead. Explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Ageless Living. Recently my aunt had surgery. And she was home the next day, as usually the case these days, but we weren't sure if we were, as a family, ready to give my aunt the kind of care she needed and deserved. So we called my friends at Ageless Living and asked about respite care. Respite care is short-term care, 24/7 expert care, all the amenities of Ageless Living, and a chance for our family to know that she was getting the care she deserved. Go to agelessliving.com/spike, take a look at respite care, or give them a call. Schedule a visit. You'll love what you see. agelessliving.com/spike.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-518-3899. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-518-3899. That's 800-518-3899. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day?
Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses, plus free delivery when you add a base. Ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Held over due to popular demand, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is an interesting topic because you never know when you're going to have the opportunity to do something nice for someone else.
Yeah.
And whether or not you take that opportunity and what that leads to. You might see somebody on the side of the road changing a tire, whatever, and you stop to help that person.
Right.
But it's not just a tire they're trying to change. Then maybe they're having a heart attack, and maybe you need to step in and save their life.
Oh, my God.
So these teenagers, this happened in Florida, these teenagers see somebody struggling on the side of the road. They pull over to help him and are able to call 911, get the local police involved. They end up saving this guy's life. Yeah. They said he was likely going to die as a result of this heart attack that he was having. It was determined he was having a heart attack. And you have these three young guys who are like 16, 17 years old who now for the rest of their lives, think about how that might shape your perspective for the rest of your life. You saved a life, and then you carry that forward with you forever. Think about that.
Well, nowadays, all I seem to hear about in the news these days with regard to high school kids is how they come up short or what kind of attitudes they seem to have and how they don't get engaged.
Young punks.
I mean, this generation's got a real bad reputation, it seems to me, from all the media coverage. So when three young guys, high school kids, first off, they see a guy on the side of the road changing a tire, we can help that guy. That right there is worthy to me of coverage on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
Because that kind of, Good Samaritan, thinking about the community outside yourself, is just a dying point of view. And then they tend to find out that the guy you're changing a tire, he's not feeling so good. And these kids have the wherewithal to call 911, say this guy's in trouble medically, and he's having a heart attack.
Listen to this part of it. Fernando Delgado's son, Fernandez Delgado.
He was the older gentleman in the tire, right?
Yes.
Okay.
His son, Christian, said he was very thankful for these teens, and he expressed that his father, who was on the side of the road, was praying as he was in what he thought were his final moments, that God would
Chest
send
pains.
help.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I've had a heart attack. I know what that feels like.
Okay, so you know there's something serious happening.
Yeah, you know the feeling.
You got the panic setting in,
You're
all that
sweating.
stuff.
You can't breathe.
Yes.
There's an elephant sitting on your chest. Sorry to get I've been there.
And the son said, God didn't send angels with wings. He sent these boys. I mean, that right there that's amazing. I don't want to cause you too much PTSD talking about it, but
dude,
what was that like?
We know who God sent me, the truly unpleasant Mrs. O'Neill, who wouldn't put up with my BS. No, I'll be fine. Just let me sit for a minute. Let me just catch my breath. She's like, either get in the car or I'm going to call the ambulance because you are going to the hospital.
She could tell something was happening.
She knew something wasn't right.
When was this?
This was June of 2020. June of 2020.
Wow.
3 months after COVID hit, 3 months after our house burned. We had a house fire.
Gosh.
I had a heart attack. And
just the stress? Do you think it was just the stress?
It was bacon and stress.
Yeah.
Had a bacon and stress sandwich. That's what I had every day for every meal. And that was bad life choices, and then the stress of the moment.
Sure.
Living in during COVID, everything was shut down. We're out of our home in a rental property, and we're rushing to get somewhere. We had to had to catch a ferry boat of all things. And
I don't want to put this on Washington State ferry system.
No. We didn't make the
but
ferry.
I'm not putting it on.
No. You know who the angel saved my life is the guy that I was the last car that didn't get on the ferry.
I didn't even think about that. If I'd have made the
ferry, I'd have had my heart attack in the center of Puget Sound, and I probably wouldn't have made it. By the time I'd have been in the middle of this of the harbor or of the Sound, I was already at the emergency room, and within 45 minutes of me feeling chest pains, I had surgery. Within 45 minutes.
That's how serious it was.
That's how they said, we'll do paperwork later.
Did they stent you up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I walked in, and it was during COVID. My wife couldn't even come in. She had to drop me at the emergency room because of COVID protocol and watch me waddle down the hallway.
I remember that time.
Watch me waddle, and I'm getting in there and say, "Hi, I think I'm having a heart attack." And like, we'll do paperwork later, which I loved about the hospital. Thank you very much, UW Medical. Saved my life. These kids saved this man's life.
It's amazing.
So, when you take that extra step to do something nice, you have no idea how far that goes. I mean, if this guy, maybe he was able to change his own tire. He still had a time bomb sitting in his chest.
Yeah, he might have. And you know what? Honestly, it's the little things in life, like not making a ferry.
Yep.
Like having to pull over because you got a flat tire.
Making the decision.
Imagine that he had been driving down the road and he had not gotten that flat tire. And that those boys didn't pull over because they saw somebody on the side of the road, and he has a heart attack while he's driving.
Yep.
You never know when a door shuts, what other window is opening.
Yeah, man. There are moments in your life. Step up to them.
That's amazing.
Yep.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. This is really amazing. We have some great graduation advice. One of the best graduation commencements I've ever seen. I was stopped in my tracks, watched the whole thing this morning. I'm going to play you some cuts when we come back. Stick around.
The John Curley Show.
I have a 1941 Dodge at the front of the house. And
there's a nest in there.
Wasps. Big nest.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
I got 2 cans of wasp spray. I put them both on the seat, and I get a .22 rifle. Poof! Giant, cloud of fire and poison, which it did work. It seemed like something that Matt Damon, what's those movies he was in? Born Identity, a Born Identity thing.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started bagging up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com. Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Senators say they want to share the burden with federal workers in case of another government shutdown. CBS's Allison Keyes explains.
Senators unanimously approved a resolution to withhold their pay the next time there's a government shutdown until it is over. Republican Senator John Kennedy sponsored the resolution.
Shutting down government should not be our default solution.
Senators make $174,000 a year, but many are independently wealthy. The measure takes effect after the November elections, but it does not apply to the U.S. House. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
China's Xi Jinping warns President Trump that the two countries could clash over Taiwan if the issue is not handled properly. CBS News national security contributor Samantha Vinograd says the reunification of Taiwan with China is very important to them.
The U.S. intelligence community has assessed that the Chinese government isn't planning an invasion of Taiwan in 2027, but they're setting the conditions for reunification. And they want both actions and a change in words from the United States.
Truck safety advocates call it a major victory. A Supreme Court ruling may open up trucking companies to lawsuits over crashes on the basis of the drivers they hire.
In a unanimous ruling, the U.S. Supreme Court will allow victims of deadly crashes to sue some of America's biggest brokers, which hire trucking companies to move goods.
Delilah Colvin was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her.
President Trump during the State of the Union. Though the president focused on the immigration status of the driver, the High Court's ruling in a separate case will allow Coleman's lawsuit against the trucking broker C.H. Robinson to proceed. Heather Bosch, CBS News.
The top spokesman for Health and Human Services, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., has resigned. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Rich Danger cited irreconcilable differences with the administration, which supported marketing approval of e-cigarette flavors that could appeal to children. Danger's resignation follows the resignation of the FDA Commissioner Marty McCary, who also objected to the approval.
Last week, the Trump administration approved the sale of blueberry and mango-flavored nicotine vaping pods. Across Havana, Cuba, protests have been breaking out as the city deals with the worst rolling blackouts it has had in decades. An ongoing U.S. blockade has been cutting the island off from fuel imports. Cuba's Energy and Mines Minister says that the country has run out of diesel and fuel oil and that the power grid is in a critical state. A U.S. delegation visited Cuba today. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world. I'm Tony. There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers. How are you? I'm Tony DeCopel. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
A Covington man faces a federal judge this hour after attacking an endangered seal. More on that following a visit to the KIRO Newsradio traffic desk, where we say hello to Lori.
Hello there. On I-5 southbound, just north of 526 in Everett, we have an incident. It looks like it's just taking up the right lane, but you're slow from just a little past 41st, about a 6-minute delay now down Everett to Seattle. Northbound I-5 at 200th, we still have that collision in the HOV lane and the left general purpose lane. 53-minute drive Federal Way to Seattle. That's about a 24-minute slowdown. North 5, Seattle to Federal Way, you're just looking at 3 minutes. 3-minute slowdown. Seattle to Renton, still an extra 16 minutes. I'm Lori. KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A Covington man is preparing to face a federal judge at this hour after prosecutors say he threw a large rock at an endangered monk seal. KIRO News Radio's John Repp reports from the U.S. District Courthouse.
Prosecutors say Igor Litvinchuk violated the Endangered Species Act and the Marine Mammal Protection Act when he threw what eyewitnesses say was a coconut-sized rock at the seal's head, narrowly missing it. He then told onlookers that he didn't care and was rich enough to pay any fines. Prosecutors used still images from cell phone video to illustrate their statement of probable cause. We'll keep you posted. From U.S. District Court, John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
A 13-year-old boy is under arrest after allegedly pointing a stolen gun at a driver in unincorporated Bremerton. Deputies say the teen aimed the weapon after the driver passed 2 boys in the roadway. No shots were fired. The suspect later ran, ditched the unloaded gun, and was found hiding under a truck. Workers at the Seattle Art Museum are pushing to unionize. The Seattle Times reports organizers delivered a letter to museum leadership yesterday announcing the formation of Seattle Art Museum Workers United, representing more than 100 employees. They say they're dealing with unsustainable wages and subpar health benefits. Their museum director and CEO says Sam is now reviewing the letter and the union effort. Cal Raleigh will be out of the Mariners lineup for a while. The all-star catcher has been placed on the injured list with a right oblique strain. Raleigh was pulled from last night's game in Houston. A full evaluation of his injury will be performed when the team gets back to Seattle. Cal has struggled at the plate this season, recently ending an 0-for-36 slump. He's only batting .161 for the season. And the Everett Silvertips are a one-way win from their first Western Hockey League championship. The Tips beat Prince Albert 5-2 last night to take a 3-1 series lead in the finals. Game 5 is Friday night in Saskatchewan. A win would put them in the Memorial Cup. And now check out your weather. Mostly cloudy and breezy conditions, 62 for our high. We'll rinse and repeat Friday and Saturday. Steady rain on Saturday before sun returns on Sunday. 60 and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours. They're behind us. We can never get them back. But we have 1 hour ahead. One more hour together.
You can always get them back if you listen to the podcast.
Well,
yes.
listen, you can try. Yeah, go ahead and try.
Yeah.
Try to get them back if you want.
But that's how you should look at life, though. These are moments. They matter. Treasure them.
Yeah.
You never get them back. You can't listen to your life back. We can listen to our life back on podcast.
Yeah, but
it's a luxury.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Listening live is where you want to do. I mean, we appreciate all the, people who listen on podcasts. We appreciate all the people who watch the videos after the fact.
Sure.
But we like the idea that you're here with us right now.
Yep.
If you want to text us right now, we can try to text you back. 888-973-5476. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. It's a way to stay connected. You can voice your opinions on stories, which we will then read later on the show. Lots of great stuff. Can we talk a little bit about college for a second?
Yeah.
I figured you would have a lot of thoughts on this because you are now a person who no longer has children in school of any kind.
That's right. First time in 34 years.
What does that feel like? Because I have a couple of college stories I want to get into, but before we do, what does that feel like to be in this new? Because you're in a new phase of life, and it happened like that.
It like a blink of an eye. I mean, I was talking about it earlier this week. You gave me a chance to recoup. Not recoup.
Good luck recouping.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. It's. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. To be completely honest with you,
Yeah.
I've been a parent of a student for the better part of more than half my life.
Wow, when you put it like that.
Yeah, I mean that's what I know is being a dad and a husband and father, a parent of a student in school.
Yeah,
and meeting, helping the kid meet the requirements and the obligations of being a student. But now that kid's got to enter the working world.
Sure.
So it's a whole new set of responsibilities as a parent because it never really ends, buddy. It never ends.
You have two children who are now adults.
Yep.
And even though legally you are an adult at 18, you're still, until you.
Yeah,
some people, honestly, some people never become adults, no matter what age. And I don't mean that in a complimentary way.
You're looking at one of them, yeah.
Well, no, I think you're an adult. Obviously,
so I've got some of the skills mastered. Some of them still elude me.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's a big life change when, now you're in a different place now.
Well, I told you the kid was talking about moving out and getting an apartment this summer. I'm like, well, you got first class security deposit. What?
What's that? Yeah.
My kid went for an arts education, not so much fiscal responsibility and financial planning.
Which, listen, it's a smaller target to hit, maybe in the industry that they're aiming at. But when you hit the target, it can pay very well.
It can pay very well, yeah.
But it is it's like every industry. Every industry is very tough, and so
it is. And you have to make sure kids are prepared for what life's going to throw at them. It's not always going to throw curveballs, responsibilities, unexpected things. Yeah. That's part of a job as a parent.
Let me.
So the commencement speaker that you featured, is you're going to feature here, that you brought in today.
I want to get to commencement in just a second. First, I want to throw this at you. University of Chicago is doing something that I found interesting. Now, I asked you not to read the article because
I did not. Yeah,
I didn't want you to see this number.
The warning.
Yeah, University of Chicago is offering free tuition for students below a certain threshold of income. Which, when you think about, that was another question I was going to have for you. When you think about, I assume you're helping with some of the tuition costs.
We are. Yeah.
My parents were very generous. When I was in college, they sat me down and they said, here's going to be the cost of college. You can estimate, it's
sure.
however long it's going to take you. Usually it's 4 years. Sometimes it's 20. But in my case, I transferred halfway through. Some credits didn't transfer. Then when I got there, whatever, it ended up taking me about 4.5, 5 years to finish college.
Okay.
So I went to a community college first for 2 years.
Solid, smart plan.
What is the Everett Community College mascot?
The Everett Community College
Everett
mascot?
Community College.
I can tell you that the Shoreline.
Is it a Trojan? Look it up, Mike. What is Everett Community College? Is it a Triton? What is it? We don't know.
Everett Community College. That's a good. I don't know.
You've never heard of that?
I've heard of it. I don't know their mascot.
Well, I'm an alum and I don't know the mascot.
Yeah, it's the Everett Trojans.
Good job. I knew it was a Trojan.
I went to. I took a few classes at Shoreline
logo,
Community College.
Actually.
It is a cool logo.
It's very cool.
You're the Dolphins.
Good use of color
You're the
with like
Dolphins?
the gray and the red. Very striking.
Okay.
Very cool.
All right. So my parents were like, here's how much college is going to cost. And here's how much less it will cost if you go to a community college first. So that was a financial decision. Also, I wasn't quite ready for a 4-year college. The experience.
That's a very intelligent decision to make at a young age, knowing that
That
you're
was
not
more
resi.
my parents' intelligence
It's a very
decision.
intelligent decision for your parents to make.
I thought I would have been ready, but I was not ready to leave the nest in that way. And I don't think I would have actually gotten the value out of how much college costs.
A lot of families learn the hard way that their kid wasn't ready to leave the state and go to a major university.
And they don't give you your money back.
No, they do not.
And so I ended up doing the community college. My parents agreed to pay for one. And then when I transferred, I ended up graduating from University of Hawaii, after a short stint at WSU. But my parents paid for 1/3 of my college costs, which was fantastic. I was so excited, very happy for them to do that. And then I paid the rest off through loans. Took me about 8 years after graduation. And it takes time, but if you're dedicated, you can do it. College is very expensive, though. It's getting exponentially more expensive the more government steps in and guarantees these loans.
Exactly.
So the University of Chicago has said, like, hey, we don't want cost to be a barrier to some of our financially challenged families.
Great way to look at life. Really is.
These schools also have massive endowments. I'm surprised that more schools don't do this. Like, a lot of schools have multi-billion-dollar endowments.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of that money, it's spoken for. They have things that they're already doing with it. But you look at some of the Ivies who have 10, 20, $50 billion in endowments.
Yeah.
That starts to feel like, all right, why are you still charging somebody $82,000 for tuition when you have $50 billion sitting in the bank that is tax-free because you're a nonprofit? Nonprofit's a good business in college.
Great racket.
It's a good business
to get into.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you to take a guess. University of Chicago is saying that they're going to offer tuition for free for students admitted to the school whose families fall beneath a certain income threshold.
Okay.
What do you think the income threshold is?
If I had to guess.
There's a family income.
Family income, family of four. Can we just kind of ballpark it kind of about that way?
Sure.
I bet if the family of four makes less than $100,000 a year, they'll give free tuition to a student in Chicago.
Would you be surprised if that number was $250,000?
Free tuition?
Free tuition.
To a family making less than $250,000 a year?
Not only free tuition, free housing, and meals.
Free room and board?
Free room and board.
Wow.
Free tuition.
Free
school.
ride. It's a free ride to school. Free ride to college.
It's the same as if you were having exceptional athletic talent. You're playing for the University of Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
The threshold there.
Wow.
I was surprised at because I don't think of somebody making $250,000 as being super financially challenged.
No.
And there's a lot of people who make a lot less.
I mean, my first thought was 80.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, okay, 100 for a family of four, let's make it 100.
Sure.
Because it's going to. Is there anybody in the state of Illinois who would have to actually pay to go to University of Chicago?
That's another great question.
Right?
Illinois is not an expensive place to live.
Do you have room for any pay-in students? Do they cap that number and how many they will help?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Wow.
The school says the announcement is an affirmation of the university's core belief that cost should not prevent a student from joining University of Chicago's community of extraordinary scholars.
Incredible gesture on their part.
It's the kind of thing where you just go like, man, that's amazing. How can they afford? I mean, it raises other questions for me, like how can they afford to do that? How many? Well,
I mean, it's like
how many admissions will they actually do that for?
Yeah, they're going to provide education at cost. It doesn't cost them. I don't know what the average annual tuition is at U Chicago. I imagine that's probably for a 4-year education in Chicago with a room and board. I imagine it's probably in excess of $200,000 a year, or $200,000 total.
Oh, it's
$200,000 total
$200,000 a year
for a 4-year education with room and board. I bet it's closer to $200,000.
I would guess,
but that's
pretty close.
That's at cost. It doesn't cost them to provide an education for these students. It's missed financial opportunity selling that chair to somebody else. At full price.
You see how much they cost per year?
No.
Undergrad tuition at University of Chicago is, I keep slurring that, University of Chicago.
Annual.
$71,000 per year.
Okay, so it's three. It's
total
300.
cost approaching $100,000
a year.
Good googly moogly. That is a lot of money.
But that's retail. That's sticker price. Nobody pays sticker price. This is where we start negotiating.
The thing about college is it doesn't need to be this expensive.
No.
That would be interesting to have a negotiation. You go in with an admissions counselor, they admit.
Well,
everybody gets admitted, and then you go like, all right, what do I really got to pay for this?
What's this going to cost?
Let's kick the tires on this thing.
Come on. Take this offer to your manager.
Yes.
Let's see what you come back with. The problem is that there are limited available spaces, and they really can compete for the best students. I mean, imagine that these free tuition has some very high academic standards to meet.
I mean, you would hope so. If they're, I mean, it's essentially
because you don't want to waste that opportunity. Someone's not going to capitalize and make the most of that opportunity.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and you should have those kind of
money.
standards.
It would be also really frustrating if you made $251,000 a year and your kid no longer could apply for this free tuition.
I'd go in and ask for that pay cut. That rare pay me less moment your boss is looking forward to hearing.
You could take a $71,000 pay cut and it would be worth it because your kid is going to pay $71,000 a year to go to University of Chicago.
You know, it's funny. My cousin or my sister-in-law, their family, they live in New Mexico.
Sure.
University of New Mexico is free to all New Mexican residents.
Interesting.
The entirety of the state, part of their state budget, is free tuition at state schools for every kid born in New Mexico. I know because our niece was accepted at the UW and wanted to go to the UW. And we had to have my sister-in-law and her husband had to have a sit-down conversation and say, look, it's great that you want to do that. Would you rather have a UW education and this much student debt?
And this much debt, yeah.
Or
at a state tuition.
Would you like to be a Lobo for free? And the kid chose wisely.
And then you can buy a house in 5 years.
That's exactly the conversation they had.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so another part of college graduation, a college is when you graduate, and then you often have commencement speakers. I don't remember who my commencement speaker was. Do you remember who your commencement speaker was?
You're going to be embarrassed. Jim Henson, University of Maryland alumni.
You're absolutely joking.
Really?
No. Oh, not
You sat in the audience and you watched Jim Henson.
No, I didn't go. I'm an idiot.
Shut it!
I was at the beach.
Are you serious?
I was working at the beach.
Did you know he was going to be there?
Yeah, that wasn't. You know what?
Rainbow Connection.
You know what? You ever heard the term "with age comes wisdom"?
Yes.
And hindsight is 20/20.
Oh my gosh!
And I wish I knew now what I wish I knew then what I know now.
Yes.
Right. All those things bear true. Trust me when I tell you, they all bear true.
That's painful.
Yeah, it is.
Jim Henson's one of those guys. I mean, he's a genius. He was a genius. He's no longer with us, sadly.
It was an absolute generational genius.
Do you know here's a quick fun story about Jim Henson. Do you know how he made the original Kermit?
Tell me it was with a sock. I don't know.
It wasn't with a sock. It was with his mother's old green coat.
No kidding.
And he cut a ping pong ball in half.
I did know the eyes were just a ping
glued
pong.
it to the top.
Just genius.
And he made this character who is beloved the world over now for 70 years. I'm not 70. It's not 70. 50 years. 1970s.
Was it late early 70s, late 60s? Yeah, it's close to 60 some years now for Jim Henson and the Muppets.
So I would say at least 50 years.
Yeah. Oh yeah, at least.
And that was Kermit the Frog. That was the start of it all. And you had a chance to
hear him speak.
I'm going to blow y'all's mind right now.
Blow it.
Kermit the Frog made his television debut on May 9th, 1955.
55.
He appeared on a local
years.
Washington, D.C. television show called Sam and Friends, created by Jim Henson.
71
Salmon?
years.
As the
Sam.
fish?
Sam.
Sam.
As in the museum.
A guy Sam.
Or the Sean Penn movie.
Okay.
I Am Sam.
I Am Sam. All right, that's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too.
It's a neat story that you...
Yeah, well, no, it was a stupid idea. I had to get to the beach and look at girls in bikinis. Real priorities of my day. But, that's what kids do. You expect kids. Yeah, that's why I could have really used some words of wisdom from Jim Henson. I could have really used those.
At UNC, just the other day, they were having their graduation. Their commencement speech was given by Eric Church, who I believe is an alumni of UNC.
Yeah.
He's a famous country singer. He's got a bunch of great songs. I actually think he also owns... If I could be wrong about this, but I think he bought recently Field and Stream. Do you remember the magazine Field and Stream? Can you look that up, Mike? I think he bought it with Morgan Wallen. I might be wrong about that. But anyway, Eric Church, hugely famous country music star, he gave what I think is one of the best commencements I have ever heard. And he owns Field and Stream. There you go. It's about 18 minutes long, which obviously we can't play for you in its entirety, but I can play you a few clips from it. And what he does is the entire thing, because he's a famous musician, is done with a guitar around his neck.
He's an entrepreneur. He's genius.
He's a
brilliant man.
Yeah, he's a brilliant guy. Yeah. And he also has a lot of words of wisdom, and he tells them through his guitar. And I'm going to play you just a little bit of this. He talks about his theory about making sure that your life is in tune. And he uses the analogy of a guitar out of tune. Listen to a little bit of this.
Who am I kidding? I need to figure out a way to do this with a guitar. So... if you'll indulge me, I want to start with a sound. You know this sound. It's a guitar that's out of tune. Something that almost gets there, that tries, but doesn't. And some ancient, honest part of your brain knows it immediately. You don't need training to hear it, you just know. That sound is the sound of something beautiful that has not been tended to. 6 strings. When all 6 are in tune, the chords they make can stop a conversation cold, carry a broken person through the worst night of their life, or make a room full of strangers feel for 3 minutes like they've known each other forever. But if even one is off, the whole chord unravels. Not gradually, not politely. The moment you strike it, you know. I believe your life runs on this principle. And I'm going to break it down for you right now and tell you about your strings, okay?
Okay, so here's the thing. I posted this on my X page. You can at Jake Skorheim. You can go and you can watch it there. You can just search Eric Church's commencement speech. I highly recommend watching the whole thing because each chord, and you specifically, Spike, as a musician and somebody who just has a graduation in your rearview mirror, I think you would appreciate this because he assigns to each string. He assigns something. Like for the string number 1, which is like the bass string or whatever. I don't know much about. Yeah,
it's low E.
So he assigns that first string is faith, second string is family, and then spouse, ambition, community, and finally you. And in each one of these things, he breaks down the importance of what those mean to the entire picture. And when one of those things is out of balance, how it kind of affects the other things in a negative way, and why it's always important, even in good times, to make sure that you're tuning right, not just when you're in desperate times. And he's given this whole speech, and as I'm listening to this and I'm watching this, the crowd is silent, just captivated by his words. And I'm interested in somebody's ability to do that. He's one man standing up there with a guitar. Music is unique in that way, because you might not agree with a single thing that he believes in life, but you hear somebody start playing a guitar, and something clicks in our brain, and we just go like, I'm going to give this a second, and I'm going to listen to this. And what I think he says is like really beautiful and really uplifting for everybody.
Yeah.
But it's really, it's more watching as he's communicating this to these people, and how I was floored by it. It's 18 minutes, and it's worth watching every second.
I agree with you, and I've only seen a piece of it. I've seen that piece about the guitar strings. I'm going to watch its entirety because it's such a genius way to relate to people, because we can all realize that there are different elements that affect our lives, our work, our family, our faith, our spouse, our health, all these things. And if any one of those is a little out of tune, it's what a metaphor.
Yeah.
That, the whole thing ain't right if just this one little element of your life is out of tune. And you should make sure you focus on every single contributing portion of your life.
It's really beautiful.
It is absolute genius.
It's a great analogy, and
Eric Church, 2026 commencement address, University of North Carolina. Look it up and do yourself a favor.
Check it out.
Thanks for bringing it in, man.
Yeah, you'll feel like a better.
I had no clue. I can't wait to see the message.
It's great. It's great. Check it out. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group. Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
When you're hiring,
Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Yeah, hi. I need an AC tune-up, and one room isn't comfortable.
We could do both. We'll get your system running right and take a look at the room. Ductless could be a great solution.
Perfect.
Yeah, and if your system's older, right now when you install a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system, the furnace is free.
Wow.
So you get a complete heating and cooling system for the price of one, and we help maximize rebates to save you the most.
Visit cmheating.com today for your tune-up or free estimate.
There's no beating CM Heating.
CMHEA HL751LW.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on oil?
We've got many markdowns on oil.
How about on that new STP Any Mileage?
You'll save $5 when you buy 5 quarts of STP Any Mileage with an oil filter and get up to 5,000 miles of protection.
Heck of a markdown for quite a lot of miles.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust a Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Public records obtained by the Center Square are raising more big questions about the state attorney general's office and its involvement with the millionaire's tax. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the emails and staff revolve around a lawsuit to revive a referendum.
The uncovered emails between a former court clerk, now with the AG's office, and
staff revolved around Let's Go Washington's recent lawsuit to reverse the Secretary of State's rejection of a millionaire's tax referendum. The AG's office warned the state Supreme Court might overturn the Secretary's rejection and put the tax to a vote where it might fail in order to avoid the court having to face a future constitutional showdown. The Center Square's TJ Martinell says it shows when it comes to the tax, government seems more interested in political power than upholding the right of the people to vote.
That has a lot of implications about what the Attorney General's office thinks of the state Supreme Court.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The suspect in Sunday night's fatal stabbing of a 19-year-old University of Washington student is in custody. He turned himself into Bellevue police last night, and he's due in court this afternoon. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Investigators say the 31-year-old suspect made contact with Bellevue police about 10:40, then walked in and surrendered. The arrest came just hours after police released a clear picture of his face asking for the public's help. SPD Chief Sean Barnes on the G and Ursula show says surveillance video was key in solving the case.
This person could have been walking around for a very, very long time while we wait for fingerprints to come back, while we wait for DNA. But certainly the cameras have to point us in the right direction and to identify a suspect quickly.
The suspect is jailed for investigation of murder. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
There are reports Mayor Katie Wilson's office is floating a plan to convert the Seattle Fire Department into an independent fire district, and firefighters aren't buying it. Jason Rantz on Seattle Red 770 reports a source inside a meeting says the union walked out unconvinced last week. The pitch, ask voters to pass a new fire district levy. But here's the catch. That money would flow back to the city's general fund, and the city council would still run the department. The union wants real independence, including elected fire commissioners in writing. This comes as the city faces a $175 million budget shortfall. The mayor's office tells Rantz the talks are ongoing. Now let's head over to the KIRO News Radio traffic desk and get an update with Lori.
That collision southbound I-5 at 526 actually not that one, the one at 200 just cleared, but we still have the problem at 526. Traffic is brought to you by D.R. Horton. A 51-minute drive right now, Federal Way to Seattle because of that accident that has cleared. So hopefully that'll improve quickly. And Bellevue to Everett, 37 minutes. And again, southbound I-5 at 526. You're all the way backed up now to US 2. So that's about an 8-minute slowdown heading from Everett into Seattle, making it a 40-minute drive. Looking for the best deal on the new home? Discover D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America Builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Cloudy and breezy, 62 for our afternoon high. A similar forecast tomorrow with our high reaching only into the mid-50s. It's 59 and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. I want to play you guys some audio that I saw earlier. I saw this video floating around. Bob Ferguson, governor of our state, from time to time, posts things and posts videos about things, talking about the upcoming World Cup, which everybody is discussing, and few are actually going. No, just kidding. I don't know.
Everyone's excited about.
I don't know how many people
the
are going.
The fever is building.
The fever. Everybody's got the fever. It remains to be seen how popular it actually is. Will the numbers come to fruition? They're projecting 750,000 people. Many people now scratching their heads saying, is that even a realistically possible number, given that you can't even sell 999 special jerseys?
Collectible jerseys. Yeah, limited edition, city-specific jerseys.
Yes.
Which are still available today, by the way. Even after we plugged them yesterday.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jeez Louise. All right, so here's Bob Ferguson talking about what makes Seattle unique and cost-friendly for soccer fans. If you want to go see the World Cup, Seattle might be the town for you. Here's Bob Ferguson.
Look, you don't get to host a World Cup match, series of matches, unless you're a world-class city, full stop. That competition is intense. They don't just hand these things out to anybody. You've got to have an exceptional city, exceptional partners, exceptional team, exceptional infrastructure, exceptional transportation system, all that, and more. I was reading an article, a national article, about some other jurisdictions and the challenges they're having trying to get folks to their stadiums. A headline in one article said, high prices in store for fans in some U.S. host cities. individuals have to pay a lot of money to take a train or a bus to get to stadiums that are not in the central core of their downtown. It's the exact opposite experience here. These shuttles that you see behind us are going to be free on match day. We're in Seattle going the opposite direction, making it accessible and cost-friendly for folks who want to attend this wonderful, wonderful experience.
I mean, in theory, it's sound because he wants more people downtown. You want to make it easily accessible.
Yeah, you're a little bit of damage control right now.
Yeah.
You know, you're
what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, because
I agree with you.
We've been talking for weeks now about how the estimations of size and income, revenue generated, I should say, from the World Cup are these astronomical projections.
Yeah.
I mean, have they tainted expectations to the point where whatever happens is going to be viewed as a disappointment?
That's a good question.
So now he's trying to convince people, look, you can get into town for free. You can just come pal around. The ticket prices are pretty reasonable in Seattle.
Yeah.
It's a low-cost alternative to, especially to other cities. Miami's tickets are about twice, on average, from the unattractive games to the most attractive games.
Oh, really?
As Seattle's are, yeah.
Because Seattle's like what, $300
for the
to $1,200.
Up to $1,200. Miami it's upward to $2,700 for the most desirable games in Miami. Same with LA.
That's a lot.
I didn't get a chance to look into ticket prices for hotel rooms in LA, but Miami's hotel rooms are almost 3 times. Well, and again, we don't know what the hotel rooms are actually going to sell for in Seattle because they scared so many people away. With the projected crowds
and
with the blockouts of multiple date requirements to come to town.
I think that was a big one. I think the requirements for the minimum stays that they. You know what's interesting? Here's an interesting thing. So we have recently seen like the AG what was the lawsuit that he was doing against companies who were price gouging on. It was like you pull somebody in for a coupon deal, but you're actually raising
the bait and switch, the buy one get one free offers of the grocers. Yeah.
Why don't they have anything to say about people raising costs for things? And I think I don't agree with his take on grocery stores.
On the BOGOs?
Yeah, I don't agree with the buy one get one free stuff on grocery stores. I think they're well within their rights to do that. I understand why they do that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I actually think it's a savings, and you can buy multiple things and save money. But so whatever, I disagree with him on that. Why isn't he applying that same logic to local hotels who are raising their rates?
Well, I think it's a speculation game. You've been told by this agency of the World Cup organization who puts a group into every city to try to project sizes and crowds and revenue projections. And you say, look, we're going to have so many people. You're going to want to price these hotels accordingly.
Well, what I'm saying,
you're trying to tell people, look, it's going to be a huge demand. Come in early, secure your spaces early, get your tickets, get your rooms reserved, reserve your cars now.
Yeah.
Don't wait till the last minute. Because you don't want people to miss out. You want to try to give them a heads up of how much in demand there's going to be.
But what I'm saying is, and I know it's not a completely equal one-for-one comparison, but these grocery chains who are trying to get people to come into the door, they're offering incentives.
Buy one, get one free.
Buy one, get one free. And in some cases, he's at least saying that they're raising the costs on things.
Well, say salad dressing that was $5 on Tuesday is now buy one, get one free on Thursday when it costs $7.
Does he have anything to say, though, to these hotels who are raising rates? And not only that, they're requiring minimum bookings. How is that? I mean, because if what he's saying about the grocery stores, which is I'm going to protect the consumer from these evil corporations who are trying to steal your money,
you get a lot of salad dressing choices. You only have so many hotel rooms in this town.
We got a lot of hotels. I don't think he should be going after the grocery stores, and I also don't think he should be going after hotels. That's private business. If they want to raise the costs and try to make some more money, the trade-off is it ends up sometimes working out to their detriment, where then you scare off customers, and they're not booking as they normally would for like even a normal tourist season.
That's what we're seeing. They're calling it a non-event.
Yeah.
Potentially, the World Cup in Seattle is a non-event. With regard to his focus on light rail, for example, free to, free from the games. In New York, when you want to go see a game in the New York Metro, New Jersey area, they've raised average train prices, which used to be about $17, like $150 on game day to get in and out of these World Cup games.
So they have surge pricing on public transportation.
Because it's the only way to get there, and they know they've got a captive audience that has no other mechanism to get to these games.
In New York?
Yeah.
With Mamdani?
Well, with World Cup has done this.
No, I know, but I'm saying, but World Cup doesn't run the city. How is it that he let them do that?
New York City, I don't think doesn't run the subway trains out to Meadowlands where these games are being played.
I don't understand.
They're being played in New Jersey. They're not being played in downtown Manhattan.
I got you. Okay.
And when I went to the Super Bowl in New York, at the Meadowlands in New Jersey.
Everything expensive.
Everything was expensive because you had demand, limited availability, and demand pricing.
Yeah.
But you couldn't drive. You couldn't drive to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
It was a closed parking lot for security reasons, and you had to take a train, or you had to have a charter bus. Was all that was allowed onto these lots. Same thing with the World Cup.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to go drive yourself over. There's one way to get there.
Again, I have no issue with private industry trying to maximize profits as much as they possibly can.
You make money, make hay while the sun is shining.
I encourage them to do so.
Sure.
That's why we happily pay more for vacations in the summertime and hotel rooms in the summertime than you would during the wintertime.
To your point, though, there are laws in place that says when a hurricane hits, you can't charge 10 times as much for a bottle of water.
Yes.
There are gouging and exploitative rules against.
In emergency situations where people don't have other options. Yeah.
Right.
But in this case, I mean,
you can choose or not to go to a game.
If somebody wants to come into the World Cup,
yeah,
your life doesn't stop because you can't go to the World Cup. You could just not go to the World Cup and then you don't have to pay those prices. Right. But it's not stopping you from being able to drink and survive. But it is interesting that they don't seem to have any issues with that, but the grocery stores. And again, I know it's not a completely fair comparison.
If the light rail's one thing, but talk about good luck getting an Uber during World Cup. Good luck getting an Uber somewhere other than a game during World Cup, because
very expensive.
It's already very expensive. Imagine what surge prices are going to be when 750,000 people come to town,
or 40,000 come,
or right.
We'll find out. Isn't Seattle already the most expensive place to take an Uber in the country?
Yeah, it is.
In the country,
or to have food delivered. Yes, it is.
Imagine that.
Yep.
Good
imagine
Lord.
70,000 or so World Cup fans are in town too.
70,000. I love how your number has decreased by 90%
per game. Per game, I mean.
No, I know.
On game day.
Yeah. No, that's a realistic number.
Yeah, 70,000 folks coming around. Even if probably with the amount of people inside the stadium and those kind of hanging around.
Sure.
I heard a story about games in San Francisco where the folks who can't afford to go, they're setting up view parties, setting up street fairs, they're setting up block parties.
Yeah.
To have people who want to get that World Cup vibe, but can't afford to go to a game.
I hope they make money. I hope the businesses around.
I hope it ends up being a good business decision for the city to host the World Cup. Yeah,
I do too. All right, and I hope the USA wins the whole thing. It's unlikely, but I do hope that they win the whole thing.
You never can tell, buddy.
It would be
never
fun.
Can tell.
Yeah, crazier things have happened. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got your text messages next. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
Get down with Casey and the Sunshine Band when they take the stage at Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Sunday, May 17th at 8 p.m. The iconic 70s group has toured around the world, and now they're bringing their blend of funk, disco, and R&B to Muckleshoot Casino Resort on May 17th. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Aegis Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery, and we had her home the next day, but we as a family weren't sure we were ready or equipped to give her the kind of care that she deserved and she needed. So we called our friends at Aegis Living and asked about respite care. Respite care is short-term stays at Aegis Living, providing 24/7 expert care, the entirety of the Aegis Living community and the amenities therein. And it was the peace of mind for us as a family to know that we were at least getting the information we needed to make the right decision for my aunt's care. Go to aegisliving.com/spike and book a visit today. Respite care might just be the break your family desperately needs.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you, gradual breakers. You keep your eyes on the road, so you've seen it all. As long as it all happened directly in front of you, like a Swedish masseuse, your foot knows exactly the right amount of pressure to apply to the brake. That's why your passengers feel totally relaxed with you behind the wheel and occasionally super sleepy. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
John is a national champion ping pong player.
My greatest claim to fame is an actor who portrayed the Chinese national champion that played Forrest Gump. I played him in a national tournament and I actually beat him.
Competing at that level takes precision and healthy shoulders, but after years of wear and tear, he was dealing with a serious shoulder injury.
I had a slap tear. Success rate for the surgery was only about 15%.
Instead of surgery, he chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experience in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The next day, I was pretty much 100%. I was pain-free. I had problems with my shoulder for 20 or 30 years.
And have you been able to compete again?
I won a national title 6 months after the procedure. My shoulder's like I'm an 18-year-old.
So whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
It's Staples' 40th anniversary, and they've got deals worth celebrating. Now through May 23rd, enjoy up to 50% off. Save on paper, chairs, custom print, balloons, and more. Staples, that was easy.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got a lot of text messages. We had a lot of great topics today. I want to start right off with one. We talked about the Seattle Art Museum. Their employees want to unionize, and we crunched the numbers on that, and we kind of discussed it, and we have a lot of responses from the public. Go ahead, Mike.
Absolutely. Let's start with Fernando in Seattle. I'm surprised they weren't unionized, ! But as a union member, I can say that not all members make the same amount. It all depends upon job classification.
That's true. There's there's obviously like front of house people, back of house people. There's
and part of the concerns of the employees it's not just salary. It's also benefits and priorities about termination protections, various
paid time off.
Yeah, paid
all
time
these
off.
Things.
Yeah, lots of different stuff.
Ultimately, because they're already operating at a loss, it's a nonprofit, but because they're operating at a loss. This is going to add like $500,000 a year, maybe. That's our estimate.
It's going to be a tough.
It's going to add a lot.
Thread.
So I don't know how they do it, but whatever.
And it's the same situation museum employees find themselves in coast to coast.
And if it was public dollars we're talking about, I would have a lot stronger opinion on it. I would say no. But if a private, they mostly charitable donations. If they want to do this, that's up to them.
Yeah. And Sam says they value their employees and the contributions they bring. We'll see if they care enough to give them the wage they seek and the benefits they seek.
What if it shuts the company down? If it shuts the business down, then
we'll be able to buy a Picasso at a garage sale. It'll be great. Jerry in the 206 says doctors unionizing. What is the problem here?
Doctors, I don't understand this text. What does that mean? Doctors are unionizing. What's the problem?
I think all employees have a right to collective bargaining. I think that's pretty standard labor law understanding, right?
Here's the thing that I would say, though. Inherently, cannot we agree that doctors have a special skill set, that somebody who just gets hired, who maybe doesn't have any resume at an art museum, isn't the doctor have more leverage because they can actually do more? They've got the schooling, they've got all those things. That to me makes more sense from a leverage standpoint. If you're just saying that a bunch of people getting together and want $17,000 more a year just because, I just don't know if the business can support that.
Yeah, that's the question.
Also, a lot of doctors work for themselves, have individual practices. I mean, those are... Anyway, Dan in Maple Valley, is Sam an 18th century coal mine? That's funny.
Yeah, that one kind of cracked me up. Let's move on to Christine Gregoire's comments about Washington's budget. This got a lot of text. Let's start with Alec in Pierce County. Hell has frozen over when I agree with Christine Gregoire.
Yeah, it really was wild. We neither of us had heard the audio before we played it at the top of the 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock hour.
1 o'clock hour. And we were both like, man, she sounds so much different than current leadership in Washington.
Yeah.
And she's making a lot of sense. Go for it.
Ben from Mercer Island says, wonder what Norm Rice thinks of all this BS. He was mayor of Seattle, Norm Rice. He wasn't governor, right? Norm Rice was the mayor of Seattle.
When was he mayor? That would have been a while ago.
It was in the 90s.
Like the early 90s, I think, yeah.
I remember Norm Rice.
Melissa in Hobart says, I never, all caps, thought that I would agree with Gregoire. I agree with you, Melissa, and she was making a lot of sense.
Heidi in Everett says, wow, this audio from the former governor is mind-blowing. So many of us have been saying these things.
Yeah, 100%.
Is it Sassy? Am I pronouncing that name right?
That's correct, yes.
That's right.
Did you say chicken? Today is National Chicken Dance Day?
I had to look that up. That is correct and legit. Because every day is some day.
A national day of something?
Yeah, it's a national day of something.
No, we certainly do not have to. Daniel in Tacoma says, you guys make some great points, but sadly here in Washington, all a candidate needs to say is that they will fight against Trump, and the electorate will vote for that candidate regardless of ability to govern or policy ideas. Thank you, Daniel.
On heart attacks, should I read this one, or is it still too soon? 425 says, had my first heart attack at 49. I was winding springs at an overhead garage door on an 8-foot ladder. Kept telling the customer I was having problems catching my breath. Wound up driving myself to Issaquah Hospital on the hill. One more stoplight and I would not be here today.
That's amazing. Oh, that's crazy.
I'm glad you're still with us, 425.
Yeah. And Spike, if you guys missed his story about when he had his heart attack, it's definitely worth listening to. Was it 149? Is that when we talked about that? You want to go back?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, this is a random text from somebody.
Well, because we had asked for text. So you're like, hey, man, if you send us text, we might even answer you. And we got a really good one to call our bluff.
All right, this is from Nurse Hannah, who says, when you eat a burrito, do you put it down after every bite, or do you hold it until you're done eating? You did say to text this to you. Okay, so Spike, you answer that question. Do you set a burrito down, or you just hold on to it?
Does anybody put down a burrito once you pick it up?
Well, it depends on where you get your burrito.
Right.
Oh, okay.
There's some burritos that they're the size of a baby. And
is it bigger than a bread basket?
Yes.
Can it fit in a bread basket?
Let me know where that is, because I've never got a burrito I couldn't finish or put down.
And you hold it the whole time?
I whole time.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Good for you.
That's the house I was raised in.
That's smart.
If I wasn't eating my dinner,
man.
my brother was
you
trying to.
You set that burrito down, someone's going to eat it. Yeah. All right, that's all the time we have for today. A lot of great stuff. Thank you guys so much for texting in. And John Curley's coming up next. Stay tuned for him. We will see you back here tomorrow. It's Friday, so it's going to be a ton of fun. We hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
KIRO KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Renton police investigating a shooting that happened just after midnight.
Engaging conversation.
It's just indefensible. The mayor's communications team should be better.
Traffic.
A full closure now, southbound 509 at Alexander Avenue.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates. This weekend only, Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep discounts. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission. Free delivery. Washington State Fairgrounds Event Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier,